Hi there, hello, good evening, and welcome back to Immersive Realms. 'Tis I, your host, once again for this fine evening, Matt with Power, aka Chef, aka Matt. I hope we are all doing lovely and well this fine evening. We apologise we weren't here last week, scheduling the ever-present D&D BBEG was back to bite us in the ass, but we are back. Who's flashing off a Yu-Gi-Oh card? Ghost, why are you flashing off a Yu-Gi-Oh card?
I just wanted to show off that I got Shadow Girl in the Labyrinth in Japanese when I was in Japan.
Aren't you just the coolest little goose in the pond?
Thank you.
So, before we jump into tonight's episode of The Shadows We Fear, are there any announcements to go through, Andy?
Yes, we have a tier 1 sub from... Oh, no, that was... Oh, yeah, we do. We have a 15-month continued sub from Ghost Malone. So thank you very much for that. We also have a 14-month... How the fuck does that work? How does he have 15 and I have 14? That doesn't work. Anyway, we have a 14-month...
I'm more dedicated to the channel.
Apparently so. Apparently so. I'm 14-month subscriber here from me. So yes, fuck knows how that works. But sure. Otherwise, just the usuals. Hit the links, the link trees, the discords. Come and join us. Be social with us. Join the hub. Get into TTRPGs. Doesn't have to be D&D. Come and talk to us about anything, really. We're all for that space, and who knows, you might see some things come out of Immersive Realms. Different systems, different games, who knows. But anyways, that's really about it. Let's get into the Shadows We Fear. So I'll hand it back to you, Mr. DM, and I will actually just hand it to you because I've lost a D4. So here you go. Take my little D4.
D6. That was a metal one, Matt.
That was a metal one. The good thing is it does have holes on either side, so you can breathe through it if it gets if it gets stuck. So yeah, good luck.
He is muted. What an absolute imbecile.
We are a well-oiled machine.
Well, that's just unfortunate. I was saying because it's got holes in it, it'll act like a filtration system later, so it's all good. But with all that out of the way, am I new? I'm getting ever closer to becoming a member of the Dectus Mechanicus with each passing minute, I swear. So, with that out of the way, let's jump into tonight's episode of The Shadows We Fear. Last we left off, our group, our party, our friends of this adventure had travelled across the lands to rescue Mary Silversong from a beholder. You did battle with the beholder. You had a very, very close fight with him, but were ultimately successful, rescuing Mary from whatever fate was going to befall upon her. In the process, however, Wash was turned to stone, but in this time of somewhat peace and tranquility, he received a message from his god above, Bodin. The message was not of good tidings, that the people from the Shadowfell, the invaders, were about to make a move. He had seen it in the coming, and he's foreseen this and gave Wash the warning to take action. Wash, once revived and was given life again, did exactly that. He told his party of these things, and they made plans to meet and go back to Pavmar to start preparing for a potential upcoming battle. If not, though, with the more hopeful prospects, peace talks, if possible. Sides of the coins were discussed on by individuals in the party, where there are pros and cons to having peace talks and the like. It's a very difficult conversation. There are a lot of unknown variables. However, you went to go speak to a few people, one of which being the Shadokai prisoner, who has now grown a lovely, lovely garden in his prison house. Excuse me. And you had a few more individual conversations as well, including the princess and the like. Azraelion was pulled aside to go make a new coat. Oh, we have lost Ghost.
Oh, we've lost.
Oh,
Oh,
was the
no,
camera
he's
froze
back.
again? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
He was Azraelion was taken away by Emmerich himself, our fabulous man, to go get a new coat fitted, or a whole new outfit actually, not just a coat. And as they were leaving this, what was it called? Sorry, the Everkind Tailors. All of a sudden, Emmerich doubled over, and all the lights of arcane nature were extinguished. But before I start monologuing, I would like to know, in this evening, as the moon has risen from the land, besides Azraelion, because I know where you are, where is everybody else, please? What are you up to this evening? I don't need exact details, just need where would you think you would be?
Depending on the time, because I know me and Wash were together, depending on the time where we're coming back. If we're still together, then walking into the kind of palace to our quarters. If not, if there's a little bit of time, of course, we'll probably be at the barracks doing his usual sparring with folk.
It's pretty late, so the barracks will be mainly closed. It's like, probably like 11 at night sort of thing at this point, so it's pretty late. You can still be with likes of Wash or anybody else in your party if you'd like, but the barracks will not be in that training hour. It is pretty late in the eve.
Then Falcourse will probably be shooting the shit with Wash if he wants to, or just heading back to his quarters.
Yeah, sure.
Wash, you
I'll go
shooting the
with
shit, of course, yeah? Just have a little
why not?
little drink or something like that at the table. Nothing too, silly with it, but just a nice little chilled out evening.
Yeah.
Elleril, where would you be?
Elra would probably be sitting on the roof watching the city with Quentin, having a glass of wine,
Fantastic.
just
Is there
catching
anyone
up.
Shooting the shit again, sort of thing, sitting on
Yeah.
top of the roofs, watching the city below. Ezrealin, we know where you are. You're walking the streets with a somewhat wounded, almost Emmerich. And Lavender, lastly, where would you be late at night?
In the garden with Brownie, probably before bed. Just looking
Perfect.
at the stars.
Letting Brownie have his midnight pee before going to bed. Go take the day out for a walk. But yeah, as you say, watching the stars. So, the Rising Shire Palace commands a very respecting view that matches the station of the city is located within. In the dark of night, it is illuminated on the ground by countless twinkling light sources that melt gracefully into a blanket of amber that drapes itself against the city in a warm embrace against the darkness. From your respective positions, small lamps that are powered not by oil but by arcane means. Sorry, I do beg your pardon, I can't read properly. For your rooms and locations, small lamps that are powered not by oil but by arcane means throw light around, casting shadows that dance across the walls and floors. Some of you have been fortunate enough to be touched by the arcane itself and hold its ancient powers within your grasp. Those of you who do, feel it first. It's almost like a sapping of your strength and potential. It feels as if a heavy weight has been dropped onto your soul. You feel weaker, sluggish, and warped. Then, within a split second, those arcane lights I mentioned all just go dark. Wash and Falcoris, you're sitting having a drink. You can see one of the big, large stained glass windows behind you, which normally during the day will cast these blues and ambers and reds across the floor in whatever pattern the light shines through. Even at nighttime, these colors still are illuminated but not casting light. From your peripherals, they go black. And you look at the stained glass window, the two of you, and there's no light coming from the other side of it. Lavender, as you're walking in the garden with Brownie, there's these tall arcane lamps that cast a soft daylight glow that some of the flowers are attracted towards, and they just snap out, and the stars become a little bit brighter. Elleril, you probably get one of the most devastating views of all. As you're sitting on the rooftop with Quen, you clink your wine glasses and just chatting on these tiles, looking out across the city below you, and you can just see the blanket of light is without warning ripped away, and Pavmar goes dark save a few small fires. Azraelion, at street level, there is a deathly pause that grips you, as if when the lights went out, Pavmar took a deep breath and is still holding it in. Emmerich next to you seems to be struggling, uncomfortable. You yourself, being an arcane caster as well as Azraelion, you feel this shift within you, not nearly as bad as he is. You do take time to look around as your eyes adjust to the darkness, and you see that some people are having a very similar experience to yourself, where they just feel hit but not wounded. You see people like Emmerich, who are quite clearly practitioners of the arcane, wizards and the high mages, are struggling. And then you see other people that clearly have no arcane touch, are just looking around, confused of why it's all of a sudden gone dark and why their friends are acting weird, wondering what on earth could be happening. What would you all like to do?
Can I make an Arcana check to try and work out what's going on?
You can certainly try to make an Arcana check and see from your perspective.
That's 31.
31. Fucking hell.
You gave me expertise in it. That's all I can say.
As you peer over the city, you've never quite seen anything like this. I will say, even with a 31, you've never seen anything like this before, where a city effectively is just switched off, for lack of a better term, as if the power grid is gone, what we would say in our society. You immediately in your brain start drawing connections that there was a thing that the Creed found, but you've never seen a nullifying effect of this cause before, of this magnitude, sorry. This is exaggerated and extreme beyond belief. This is something odd.
I'll stand. Let's see. Get inside. And I'll draw the Spellbreaker dagger, just have a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see if that's...
It might as well just be... It might as well just be... Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. On you go.
No, on you go, please. On you go, please.
Say, I kind of just want to see if it's... I've never really considered it before, but is this maybe made out of the similar material to the cube?
Mm-hmm.
Cube.
It's not made out of a similar material to the cube as Starscream comes flying over. No, it's not made of a similar material, no. But for all intents and purposes right now, you don't feel that magical touch against it.
Okay.
You're just holding a sword.
It's a dagger, first and foremost. So you can show that.
Dagger, sorry, yep. It's grown! No, it's just a dagger. You check your other magical items that you know for a fact, have arcane properties, and they're just normal.
Question.
Answer.
Retribution.
Uh-huh.
Can she still speak to me?
She can still speak to you, yes.
Okay.
She is something different.
I have a question.
Please?
My barrier tattoo, would that still give me the armor class that it would?
No.
Okay, just so I know, and I'll unequip it from now.
You feel, as I mentioned as well, Israel, and you feel weaker. Arcane properties that are within you naturally and given to you externally have just lost their meaning. Of course, you can still hear, if you ask Lucia, in your head, but she is struggling right now.
Well, I would imagine sitting at the kind of the table, like just drinking with Wash, like seeing that happen, just kind of look and go, that feels off, doesn't it? That's not right.
And Wash, you feel this punch to your arcane gut, so to speak.
Okay, I was going to ask, was that affected as well?
You do feel affected.
Instantly standing up, summon a sword.
There's a 5-second delay.
Lucia, what's going on?
And then the sword finally comes into your hand.
Fuck is
you can
happening?
Basically, the way I can word it with Lucia right now, you can almost feel like someone's built a brick wall between you guys, and she's got a small passageway to try and pass the power to you, and so to be able to freely give it to you. She's got to go through a maze almost. The connection is further to her.
So in this hall, we'll say, I don't know wherever we are, as there lions kicking about and stuff.
You can see that there, as there always will be, there is lions present. You can see some of them are sort of standing up, seeing all the lights especially go out. You see some of the lions that, again, maybe more magically inclined than martially inclined start to struggle.
The ones that are struggling, I'll leave. Any that is kind of standing there looking like what the fuck is going on type thing, I'll shout at them, oh, go and make sure the queen is fucking secured. Do it now.
They just give a silent nod and run off down the corridors.
And then I'll kind of run up to one that's struggling and just be like, you're right, try and get out of here. And then I'll stand up and look at Wash and see if is Wash doubled over? Is he alright?
You aren't. Wash is not doubled over because his arcane is a gift. It's not part of who he is naturally. Bowden has bestowed upon him these gifts. However, the connection, you haven't lost your connection to Bowden. You still feel like he's not turned his back on you. It's not the case you lost your powers. It's just harder to use them right now. A lot harder. So you are like that winded sort of way.
Okay, can I try and just medically attend to any of the lions that are doubled over? Just try and at least ease them, make them lie down and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's weird because you are trying to obviously sort of medically look after them, but there's nothing actually wrong with them. They're just what is part of them is just gone for the meantime. They are just struggling that aspect, and it does feel as you can feel yourself, like you've just been punched firmly in the stomach and ripped out something inside of you. They are some of them more like you can sort of imagine this sort of situation. Some of them more just probably having more panic attacks and that sort of stuff, wondering, oh god, have I lost all my abilities? So the ones that are probably going into that more sort of stage of the mental medical element, you can help both. You certainly help calm them down, relax them, make sure they're not going to hurt themselves in their panic. You know, you certainly do that one there. But for the other guys, like I say, there's nothing you can do apart from just give them words of affirmation.
All right, we need to figure out if this is Creed related or we're under attack or something like that.
Can I lift Emmerich and just try and help him? Maybe like put his arm over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And, like, carry him up to the castle.
Thank you, darling. As you put his arm over your shoulder and hoist him up, sort of thing, to his feet, and begin to drag. And he now and again will just give you a weak little "I'm sorry" as you're sort of dragging him up to the steps. As you're getting closer, a couple of the lions recognize you and he, and basically run to either side of him, take his weight off you, and in their armored forms begin to usher him in for you, leaving you a bit more free again.
Do I know where Elena is at the current moment?
No clue.
Would I be close to
You
the
would
throne
assume
room?
at this hour she'll probably be in the throne or a bedroom, but more likely a bedroom at this
I
time.
will start
It's
moving to the
11-ish.
throne room and I'll shout to Wash, I'm going to the throne room, it's security. This might be an attack.
You make your way to the throne room and you can throw open the doors, but as you sort of get to the throne room, you can see there are lines blocking the door, sort of thing, in that sort of defensive sort of way. And again, they're all confused between themselves. And as they see you approach, they don't, get that spears down sort of way, but they do sort of just make sure that, you're not posing as a threat and anything else like that.
I will make my way into my charge, the throne room, as the throne defender.
They do part, and then you sort of open the throne room. It is empty. There is not a soul inside.
I'll turn as soon as I want to see that it's empty. I'll be like, where the fuck is the queen?
Quarters.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And then I'll start sprinting up there.
Hello, what are you doing in the meantime? I'm gonna
Um,
guess, staying on the roof or navigating your way down? Where are you up to?
Yeah, I'd probably climb down just to get in the courtyard. I kind of want to see out over the city, but
Yep.
like stay close just in case I need to run back inside. Whatever.
Of course.
I like to think that I'm maybe like by the gate to the kind of castle grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching out, and if anyone I recognise is coming in. I know Azraelion's been bragging a lot about Emmerich getting him a fancy new cloak. So I'm keeping an eye out in case they come in through.
Yeah.
And if I see them, I'll assist them in.
I would
That's
sort of say to get the party to sort of knit themselves back together again, as you sort of jump down and sort of look over the city and try and peer through the darkness. And again, just can't help but feel that disturbed feeling where, realistically speaking, the lights are out. But what that means is far more terrifying than what actually is what you're seeing before you. But as you're sort of looking around and peering through the darkness, you do catch a glimpse of two figures, one being held up by the other, walking through the streets. And they just sort of get to the actual steps of the palace, where there are more actual traditional firelight torches. You can see the shadows that fall from them, and the light illuminate their face of Emmerich and Azraelion. You see the two lions rush up and grab Emmerich and sort of pull him off Azraelion. And you can easily make your way to meet your companion.
I'll take a torch off of someone and then kind of walk them through the dark up into the throne room.
Yeah, perfect. No problem. You Azraelion sort of tie up. You see the prince walk behind you, Azraelion, with a torch in hand lit. He's picked up a couple of people. He's walked along to escort them through the darkness to the throne room, or to the palace. Sorry. And you two are reunited again.
What's going on?
I don't know. I was with Emmerich. I went to get myself tailored for a new coat, a new collar for Adar, and then he just killed over like I've been punched in the gut. My tattoo, it is disappearing. I don't like this.
I think I think something might have happened with the Creed. They had a.
I don't know what the Creed is.
If he doesn't.
I was like, I can't.
You sit him down.
I'm like, wait, were you just helping Lavender's mother for the sake of Lavender's mother? You didn't realize the context. And then I
was helping Lavender's mother because I was helping you guys.
I relay that Lavender's mother is the lead of a secretive association that has been associated with disappearances of people, prioritizing knowledge over human life, rogue necromancy, technological advancement, everything. Everything to do with that.
An assassination of folk, you know.
I
Yeah,
guess we go and
assassinations.
speak to Mrs. Silversong.
I think that's the best bit. I'll also relay the cube that we found in their headquarters that was that had anti-magic properties, and that they wanted to keep to study.
But in all fairness, it was voted upon. It was
Voted
done
upon.
democratically after the taking over.
That's fair. I wanted to destroy it, but that's
Yeah,
who
again,
cares about
everyone
my
had
opinion.
As you guys are having this conversation and filling them in, you see in the distance one of the guards sort of keel over a little bit, and not far behind you hear the rushing of footsteps as Raylin and Elleril. You see Wash sort of run over, make sure this man's okay, begin to calm him down. Beg your pardon. And you three can be reunited again, unless Wash, there's something else you want to be doing, or is that okay?
I'm happy with that.
Perfect.
What should you see my sister?
No, Valgoris went to the throne room just to look, but I honestly don't think they'll be kept there.
Do you know where Lavender is?
No idea. Knowing her, probably somewhere natural.
Can
She'll
That's
find us
what I think.
quick enough, I think. She's probably the best person to do it.
we should head towards the throne room.
You guys all begin to pick up the pace, and Lavender, you do see this commotion obviously around you all in the gardens. Excuse me, I can't get this cough out of my way. You do see, Lavender, some people, again, in the gardens it is a lot quieter, obviously. There's fewer people milling around these beautiful gardens and spaces at night. But there are the odd people that you can see go, oh, it's dark. That's odd. And then the panic as the news is beginning to spread of people are suffering, people are worried, begins to hit you. Would you like to make your way inside, or do you sort of keep out and you make your way inside? Perfect. And eventually, you will meet up with the other three in the palace corridors as they're sort of having this conversation where could Lavender be, and begin to make their way through the throne room. I will say timing is perfect. The four of you have now reunited again as a party. Well, 5 including Brownie, of course. 5.5. Who knows what silver is?
I was going to say Silvery accounted for. Can we rule out Silvery did this?
Silvery done.
Just
You know.
pull out the fuck of the city.
He's been missing. It's the BBEG, I'm telling you. Anyway, sorry.
Falcoris, where are you off to then whilst you've been running
Sprinting to
around?
Elena's room, essentially, as I'm going past like dignitaries and stuff like that, but like, get to your quarters, move, move. And I was just running through the corridors, getting up to eventually skid to a halt, essentially, outside Elena's door, and then rattle the door. I presume there will obviously be lines there, but...
And indeed, there are lines present outside, sort of thing. And as you rattle your knuckles against the door, sorry, you barely even wait for a response. You can hear like the first syllable of Sarah asking you who is it, and the door you fling open. You can see that she is currently kneeling on the ground with Lily at her feet, as Lily's artificial leg has stopped working.
Oh,
And Lily is trying to move, but she and herself are starting to panic a little bit, but Lena's been there trying to calm her down. As Lily's going, what the fuck is wrong with this shitty fucking leg?
oh fucking
Fucking
hell. And then I'll run over and I'll like help pick up Lily, and then I'll be like, we need to move you to the throne room. It's the best place to fucking defend you if this is an attack.
An attack?
It might be. And then I'll be like pushing, like I'll be going forward. I'll point to the lines that are in front of me. I'll be like, Formation. Make sure we're going to the throne room. Come with us.
As you guys are making this sort of formation thing to go back to the throne room, Lily sort of leans over and grabs her big warhammer, slides it across the ground, and just sort of hoists it up to one of the lines for them to carry it for her.
Dong.
The line sort of picks up, oh fuck me, sort of heavy. For a halfling girl, she's got fucking abs. Imagine Caitlyn from Arcane, but smaller. And with a metal leg. But yeah, they take the hammer for her, and then basically, again, one of the alliance scoops her up almost with one of her legs just not working, and begins to move towards the throne room with you in tow.
Yeah, I'll practically be essentially carrying her, essentially, all the way there. And yeah, I'll be double timing again as I'm passing, as we're going through corridors, and we're obviously the dignitaries are getting moved aside. I'm like, get your fucking quotes, and just keep on fucking moving.
Yep, you do exactly that, and then before long, the 5 of you humans, 6 including Brownie, make it together again and rush yourselves into the throne room. As per the line, sort of just moving the princess along. The door is shut tightly behind, and the guards that are with you stay inside this room. So I'll say here, there's probably 5 lines with you.
As soon as we kind of get in there and I can kind of situate or back down on a seat or something of the sort.
I will say there's 7 lines, and Emmerich as well, sorry. The other 2 would have brought him in here also. Emmerich is with you also, why not?
Yeah. So get sitting her down so she's actually sitting on a kind of seat and stuff like that. I'll look up and be like, right, does anybody know what the fuck is going on? Why the fuck is the magic disappeared? And I'll be looking at Emmerich like, you're right.
Splendid, darling, splendid. Never been fucking better. This feels awful.
I think it has something to do with the cube that we found in the Crete headquarters.
It feels very reminiscent, darling. I feel actually sick.
Was there meant to be tests on today?
Not that I was aware about. Nothing's came across our notes.
Who has possession of it?
The Creed, obviously.
Where?
Sorry, I don't know, Falcoris.
Elena.
They asked allowed to operate in secrets.
Oh. Elena, do you know if they've got it here? You would have been talking with Mary Silversong.
All I know is it was brought here, but where exactly it is, I have no idea, Falcoris. I'm sorry. Again, as Emmerich just said, I have still allowed them to work in secret for their projects. Under a tight leash, but I'm not privy to everything they do.
I knew this was a mistake. We know Behemoth 1. We know that the area it emerged from. Surely their base must be close by.
Potentially, but they were rebuilding there. We were rebuilding there, not just them, so it could be there. Could be some, I don't know, corridors or tunnels connecting underground, but I have no idea.
Where does Mary stay when?
She has her quarters here, but after you rescued her, I don't think she went back. I think she had to go meet with her people during her absence. Or due to her absence, sorry.
How do you communicate with them? How do you set up meetings?
Like anybody would. We organise schedules and dates. Mary herself may even come and see me to ask. If not, one of the people acting for her. How do you
reach out to them?
I have designated individuals.
Like who? We need to go and talk to them now.
Oh, I don't know their names off by heart. Give me a minute, please. As she sort of goes over, she walks past and plants a kiss on top of Lily's forehead. Just stop moving. And she goes over to her paperwork and starts sort of flicking through them. Right, it's the D&D equivalent of a Thursday, so he won't be free. And she starts basically trying to figure out who's on shift, so to speak, on this one. Now. Mm-hmm.
Well, while she's doing that, can I just turn to Lavender? And do you think if Brownie had her scent, he could track her?
Could he?
You could certainly try that on there. It's not been tried and tested before, but you can definitely try and do that.
We could try. But
good are
if he
bears'
picks up
noses?
food, I don't know if that's a good idea, but we can try.
Does anyone have anything from her?
From Mary.
Yeah, Mary Silversong, yeah.
Did we not get something off her? Would it be ammo or something?
I didn't take my gun back.
I don't think you guys actually have anything that belongs to Mary.
Can we not go just check the room? Perhaps that.
Didn't she
diary's
get
still
given
there?
intervention as a backwards, so you could look for Lavender's scent?
Yeah, but she kept it.
Yeah,
but-
exactly.
yeah,
so you
yeah,
could look for
that's what I'm
Lavender's scent, and so you could look for
Ah.
your scent instead.
You could try and do that, basically track lavender sort of thing. That's interesting, we can try and do that. As you guys are having this conversation about, can this be done, Elena will come back. There's one that will be on the palace somewhere today. Malachus. Tiefling individual.
I'll look up towards the lions that are in the room and just be like, anybody got eyes on that Malachus? Anybody know where he last was? Location?
One of them announces they can go and find them and find the information easy enough and try and track them down.
As quick as you can.
Roger, Roger. They say.
Roger.
What do you guys look suspicious?
Goes into a ball and starts rolling away.
It's weird when he stands, so a little shield comes around him. It's quite odd. But he disappears. And then you guys are just left, Bar Emmerich and Elena and the lions in this room are left alone again. Now, if you guys want, we can make a nature check. Does Brownie have a stat sheet, Lavender?
He does.
Do we do it? Yep.
He
You can
does.
make a survival check for Brownie, please. I will say because he's trying to track a very familiar scent, he can make it with advantage.
Was
Do. Little brownie bear boy.
well, nature?
Survival, sorry, my apologies. Survival. He's trying to track,
Oh,
and he gets advantage.
$13.
13. You tell him what you need him to do to find Mary by smelling your scent on the weapon left behind. And as you guys begin to open the throne room doors, Brownie initially starts making it, but tracking's not really his thing, unfortunately, and the other scents just confuse him a little bit, and then he keeps sort of looking back at you as if like, I found you, sort of thing, There you are. There's too many scent trails to pick up on this very, very busy palace corridor. He very quickly loses the scent of you on the gun.
Would you like me to try and track her with a dart?
It's worth a try.
We
I
could
mean,
try.
It is what I am training her to do.
You may make a survival check for it, Dar.
I don't have a stat sheet because it's like the Displacer Beast, but I never actually come up with one.
Okay,
I'm just like,
what's the Displacer Beast's... Oh, what's survival again? Is it intelligence or wisdom? I'll say it's wisdom, isn't it?
Survival's wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can just use the Displacer Beast stat for wisdom then, on that would be it plus or minus whatever it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna look one up. It's not-
Perfect. And again, I will say do it with advantage, because again, lavender is a very familiar scent to Adar.
So it's plus one. That's a 14.
14. She gets a little bit further, but again, unfortunately, the same thing happens where it's just too many tracks and trails. Too many scents walk past and walk down these corridors where Adar quickly loses the scent also and doesn't quite know what she's supposed to do. She's more used to tracking things where there's far less foot traffic. Where you're hunting a single prey in the wood. But when there's hundreds and thousands of people potentially walk down these corridors, it's just too much for her.
Why don't we go and check Mary's room to see if there's anything to say where Creed will be?
I think that's the best lead we have on least.
Failing that, the ones that were being affected physically by this, do you think you can get closer to it? You know when you're getting closer to it.
Those who can feel this, as you've been walking around the past corridors, you don't feel there's a
Proximity.
That's the one. Thank you. Proximity to this, like you don't. If you walk further north, it eases, or if you walk further south, it intensifies. There's nothing like that, unfortunately. It's almost just like a silent spell has been cast upon this whole area. There's nothing directional to this.
Can I? Hang on, let me just check if this is like actually in the spell description.
Ooh.
I just want to minor illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a flame in my hand.
It's a cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a cantrip. It lasts a minute, so I just like constantly recast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm essentially looking and I'm just kind of paying attention to it, see if it starts to like fade or flicker as we move through.
Yeah. As you take time, and again, cantrips should just come naturally to yourself in the sense that you snap your fingers and can produce a flame. This is actually like struggling with a lighter, so to speak, where you are just like trying till finally you feel that arcane spark just hit your hand finally. You have to catch it almost and hold on to it preciously. And where there would be a nice, decent sized flame, it is like you're holding an ember sort of thing. You have cast it and it's still illuminating the light, but you are almost like guarding it from you would embers to a flame sort of thing. And as you sort of pay attention, as we sort of mentioned, it doesn't, as you're walking down the corridors, it doesn't dwindle when you go down a certain direction or not. It's just so hard to cast this cantrip, though. That's the only thing you'll take away, that even casting a basic spell that our equivalent of primary school kids could be able to cast with my first spell, this is an effort.
Okay. An effort to an extent where would this cost me a spell slot to do?
No, thankfully not, no.
Okay.
It's just consuming.
Yeah. I suppose I'd just kind of do that leading the way to Marie's room.
Falcors won't go there. Falcors will stay in the throne room to A, defend, and B, wait for that signature.
Indeed. Well, we'll go to those who are off to Mary's room first. So who would that be, please? Who is going to Mary's room? I know Elagol said he is.
I am.
Azraelion. Lavender. And where's Wash off to? I know he's just about to sit down, so... Look at him scooch. 1 second, as Wash contemplates. He just freezes on the spot as he gets the NPC tag against his name.
Sorry, my microphone wasn't working there for a moment. I don't know why. Wash will stay in the throne room and wait for the big person. Yes.
Indeed. We'll go to Mary's room quickly then. As you guys go down the corridor, and Elwell, you keep, again, just trying to snap your fingers and get a cantrip to come back, and it's getting frustrating at that point, but you keep doing it, and you can rule out there's a proximity-based area of effect. This is just a blanket. No matter where you are, if you're in this area, you can't cast or struggle to cast.
I'd probably give up after a wee while.
Yeah. You guys get, as you had already been there before, but this afternoon, I think it was, you get to Mary's room. Mental, isn't it? 3 sessions. That was only this afternoon. You get to Mary's room, and it's basically, if not exactly, how you left it. The open journal, maybe closed now for health and safety reasons, is left there. Her very, very barely furnished room is surrounding you with the single window that looks out to a dark city. A very, very well made bed. Doesn't, very few personal artifacts here on display.
Hello. Not being discreet about it, I'm turning this place upside down.
What are you looking for, just so I know what you're trying to grab?
I'm looking for anything that could maybe, I'll go over the journal again. I'm just looking for anything that might give away where the code is, even if it's like a secret compartment or anything that just might be of interest. Anything Creed related, I'm looking for, essentially.
Of course. Make an investigation check, and if anybody else wants to do the same thing, then please, by all means, make your own checks as well.
And I look for something that may be, say, like an item of clothing or that could potentially catch the scent on.
Very good. You can certainly open her wardrobe, and I'll say no check required on that one that you open her wardrobe, and there are a few clothes hanging on a hanger. A lot of the red robes that she would be wearing as part of her uniform. Elleril, your investigation check, please, as you toss this room.
29.
29. You go over it, and you are, like, say, flipping mattresses, moving things, looking for secret compartments, looking for anything that can tell you where. Secret doors behind the wardrobe, you know, the old tricks of the trade sort of thing, and more intricate ones as well. As mentioned before, all the things that are furnishing this room are given by the palace, so they aren't made by her, requested by her, so you're confident there are no trapdoors on the desk that you're not going to be aware about, but you still double check and make sure she hasn't made her own incisions or insertions, and you feel safe that she's not done anything else like that. The wardrobe is where it should be. There's no secret tunnels behind it. Again, same, there's no trapdoors. There's nothing out of the ordinary. This room is furnished as it should be, with no secrets to hide. Leaving you at that point, as you sort of, the last sort of thing you sort of do is empty the pillowcases, even with a 29. You are being as thorough as you can be. The last piece of the puzzle is the journal. You go back to it, careful not to open up the pages where Borath made his own inscriptions and caused some maddening effects. As you sort of flick through. And she does, at points, reference having operations in Pavmar. She never writes down specifically what these operations are or where they are exactly located. But a lot of the time she will reference, as you had your suspicions of, the sort of area where Behemoth flew from. Behemoth 6 flew from. She even, I will say actually with 29, but a thing for you, she will mention one of the later journal entries she'll make as you sort of thumb through it, that after Behemoth took off and obviously revealed the Creed's hand, they had to move it somewhere else safe. So Behemoth 6 is now a secret in its own right, but still airborne.
Mm-hmm.
And you then put pieces together, because if you remember when you first came in this room, there are these random blueprints for parts you don't recognize with the numbers B7 next to them. In the journal, it basically confirms they're underground somewhere else now, not in Pavmar, creating Behemoth 7. It's an Emperor-class Titan. When you can't come to church, the church comes to you.
They're making the Warhorn first.
Mary Silversong has collected the first Warhammer. Only 39,000 to go.
John Warhammer comes.
James Workshop is coming.
Wait, is Lavender's dad counting on the Clay?
He is called
John
John.
Warhammer.
He is called John.
Yes, John.
He is John.
He was the first Warhammer.
Nerds!
Turns out this world is actually just a tomb world. No one knows this yet, but you ascertain that if there is operations in Pavmar, there are still connecting tunnels from where Behemoth 6 was lifted from the dry dock underneath the city, and there's probably still operations there. But again, Behemoth 7 is out of Pavmar, being constructed in secret. Little extra tidbit for you.
Have you have the rest of you found anything?
I have found some clothes in Mary's wardrobe. We can perhaps get Brownie or Badar to track them.
I think we collect the others and we head to the part of the city where Behemoth emerged from. Or like there.
Raylan, by the way, you have no idea what Behemoth is, by the way. He keeps keeping Behemoth, you're just thinking big fucking monster, like, but...
I like to think, like, Elleril says something, and then a good, 5 minutes pass before Aurelion finally asks what it is.
I don't want to embarrass myself early, but what is it?
I mean, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, man. It's
Yeah, but somebody once told me the world was going to roll me, so. Yeah, he explains the giant airship that emerged from the ground when we needed the Creed to intervene. But yeah, I think we collect the others. If you can use the scent off these clothes to maybe track her in an area where she's more likely to be.
I will do that. And I'll have maybe an item or two over to Lavender for Brownie to get a scent, and I'll take something else.
Fantastic.
Maybe-
So,
Is there anything in the room that has the Creed logo? It's an alchemist flask and something else. Is that a dagger? Alchemist flask
dagger,
and a dagger. Yeah.
Isn't he
Is there anything?
behind that? I believe, top of my head, a big cog behind it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
This flask.
Is there anything with that symbol in the room?
The stuff that you pull out of the wardrobe will have that definitely as part of the
Okay.
uniform and attire. Stuff that Azraelian pulls out will definitely be branded with that
Okay. I
logo.
just point out to Israel, and as we move through the city, look for that symbol.
Okay.
You guys begin to make your way back to the throne room. In the meantime, we shall cut cameras and go to said throne room, where not long after your party, or part of your party, disappear into the dark palace corridors to try and find information in Mary's room. Maybe 5-10 minutes later, there is another knock on the door, and the line that left, not you can tell he's wearing his full helmet, returns with a very groggy looking sleepy drow, a tiefling. He is right now still wearing a Creed uniform as such. You can tell it's been thrown on, sort of thing, for the purpose of meeting. He wears he's wearing the dark grey robes with the logo attached against the side of it. The hood is down. There's no mask, as has been instructed as of late. He walks in. He's got 2 rapiers at his side as he sort of finishes adjusting the buckle belt as he's still trying to basically get dressed as he walks. And as he comes to the room, he first of all sees all of you and sees, importantly, the princess, and gives her a deep and respectful bow before introducing himself as Malachus.
Right, Malachus. This is important because we don't know what the fuck is going on. This might be something detrimental to the whole city. Where the fuck is your base of operations? Who do you report to? How do you report to them?
Now, those are some questions I'm going to have to... I understand the urgency, but please understand how we operate. Where we operate, I cannot give you that information on. However, I do, of course, directly report to Mary Silversong, but whilst under my rooms here, to Her Majesty.
That gives us fuck all information that we could use. Little bit more specific. We're trying to find out where the fuck you keep this cube.
And I'm telling you, without Mary's permission, I will not do that.
Of course, he's going to walk up, he already has his sword, and just put it right to the neck. And goes, I understand your fucking colour symbols. I know what the fuck you stand for. I don't give a fuck right now. We gave you basically freedom to start doing your shit again. Right now, that shit might be up in the air, and people are in danger. Don't you see the people with magical elements here? They're fucking suffering. So do me a favour and stop fucking around and tell me where the fuck I can find people to see if this can be sorted.
Might I just interject and say circles I used to run in. I now don't do what I did before.
Well, that's fucking great. So how about stop the secrecy and tell me where the fuck you're going?
Not without permission from her.
I will
Unless
push
you want
the
to
sword a
cause
little bit more so it starts almost breaking his skin.
As he sort of does that, he sort of gasps it and says, "You're smart enough to remember what this cloak colour means. Do you think I'll break that easy? And do you really want in a time of crisis to cause a bigger one, Falcoris?"
I don't give a shit right now. Fucking tell me the information I need. Mary Silversong is indebted to us. Fucking tell me, or you could be struck down right here. And believe me, you're outnumbered.
I am not going to fight, and I am not Mary Silversong, so my debt doesn't belong to you.
I want to intimidate him by... I will spin the sword so then I cut one of his knees. Literally just not a deep cut, but it's, so he falls to a knee and then I will tower over him.
Make a intimidation check for me, please. and he's going to contest it, being his ex-profession, shall we say.
While you're doing that, can I attempt to use my See Good and Evil?
Sure, yeah. Is that a spell slot?
It is not a spell slot, it's a feature.
Oh, perfect. That's absolutely fine then. Again, it does take where you can just cast it. It is almost like you have to force it through. It's not a case of you can just will it forward. You are almost like forcing the spell to obey you and obey your needs. What's the wording of it again? Sorry, actually, let me look up because it's probably one of those lengthy ones, isn't it?
It's a little lengthy, yeah, but it's
Evil, yeah.
yeah, it's essentially that it tells me the general tells me what it is exactly. So it'll tell me the race, but it'll also then tell me its like general alignment at the time, and we flavored it as shades of grey essentially for how malicious somebody is being. I think
this individual, he is not evil. There is no disputing that. He is not an evil individual by any means of the word. Apart from he has got that tiefling and thus devil bloodline in him. But again, that's just tieflings, unfortunately, and the curse they have upon their kind. He is inherently not evil. He has done evil things. Has he repented for them? Question mark. Has he been doing them as of late? Probably not.
Can I still insight him when he said he doesn't run in those circles anymore?
Sure, make an insight check, and he's not going to contest that because right now his focus is elsewhere, so he's not aware that you're trying to insight and lie to him right now.
That is a 18.
18. You get the sense that he is telling the truth. He doesn't run in the circles that he used to run in. Or maybe he more means he doesn't do what he used to do. He may still speak to those people, but he doesn't do the deeds anymore that he was once instructed to do under the old regime, we'll call it.
Okay.
That's my core. Oh, sorry. Is there anything else you want to ask?
No,
Josh,
that was just
perfect.
That was just me saying okay.
Yep. So Fakoros, you sort of swing the sword down and cut into the knee and try and bring him down to one knee, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You do exactly that. He makes a yell in pain, as any person would do, as he is sort of brought down and forced onto one knee, and then he sort of very quickly composes himself and just sort of looks back up at you with a half grin on, but looking up at you, going, "Don't be an idiot."
I rolled 22.
I rolled 25.
Oh. Well,
Don't be an idiot. I'm not your enemy. Don't make me one. I am sworn to secrecies, as you are sworn to other things, I dare say.
and right now, secrecy is keeping us back. It's putting this city in fucking danger. My charge is to keep this throne safe. So you do me a favour and you will tell me where the fuck your base of operations is. And this is the last time I'm going to say. I will take whatever repercussions your fucking creed want to bring to me. That is fine. I will take that. Just remember who is the one who fucking backed you up and gave you operations when Eloril wanted to fucking bring you down.
I also remember who gave us permission. And he looks past you and looks towards Elena. I answer to her still.
Falcorus, with hardly moving his neck, will look over to Elena.
She is shocked at this display. And as you sort of like don't look at her, but sort of move your face in her direction, very anime style, she will hesitate and she goes, I do know him. He does work for me.
Elena,
He
we
works for
need
the
a
Creed.
location right now. And he's not going to give it unless you say the permission.
Of course, I can't give him that permission. That is Creed business, Falcoris. And I don't want to start another war with them.
Elena, I need to remind you, we have a fucking imminent fucking invasion. and somebody might have got a hold of that that's not part of our groups, not Creed,
Fat
not
Horse.
us.
Fat Horse, I need to remind you who sits on the throne.
That's fine. I defend it.
Please stand down.
Of course, we'll just walk past the guy, brushing his shoulder, like barging his shoulders, walk past, and he'll walk out the throne room. And instantly, when he gets out the throne room, he's going to start like looking for a lion, and just
There's plenty by the door. Obviously,
Yeah.
they've been guarding the door. Yep.
he'll just be like, direct me to where the fucking behemoth came out of, and he'll start moving that way.
The lion happily guides you along outside the palace walls.
Oh, when did it kill him?
I know
Let's not kill him.
The rest of you.
Fuck it, I wasn't.
I do have something that I want to say to him, if it's okay.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, Wolf, before we get the other guys, the Malachus sort of leans forward, takes a deep breath, or exhale, sorry. And he looks down at his knee and he starts to, does anybody have anything I can cover this up with? Please.
Just rip a rag from somewhere and tend to it, essentially.
He will, in that short burst of anger, snatch out of your hand and then realize that he's sort of banging himself and, thank you.
It's alright. He can be a lot, but you have to understand with, and I'll look to Elena, with all due respect, this could be a bit different from you just protecting your secrets.
I understand, but also, with the secrets I keep, there are consequences for not keeping them.
That is fine. That's understandable. However, currently we don't know the location of Silver Song.
Nor do
We
I. She's
cannot
been
get
missing
that
for the last 7
information.
days.
Think of this in terms of the fact that if there wasn't a planned test on that artifact, if it's active now, it could be by people who are not aligned with the same values that you share inside the Creed.
I understand
Which-
what you're saying.
It would put into jeopardy all of the Creed. You wouldn't be starting a war, you'd be signing an execution at that point. If you're unable to handle your own issues in-house, then other people have to come in and mop up the mess. Truthfully, I think there will always be. I wouldn't be surprised if there would be dissidents within the Creed. After all, from what I've heard, it was a fairly bloody exchange.
You can say that again.
Which is why, while I respect your need for secrecy, if we can't stop these people, a massive tragedy could fall to the Creed, and that could be it for the Creed. There wouldn't be a war at that point. The Crown would have no choice but to force them to take responsibility. We're not asking because we want to know your secrets. We're asking because we're trying to keep this alliance functioning. And in that regard, we need an exchange of information in this very tense scenario. If we know where the tests are taking place, we can deal with it. And any dissidents. And then after that, you can move all you like. But this is expanded now. You were able to do what you needed to because it was in the interest of the Crown and the rest of the Renthal. Now it is doing the opposite.
Make a persuasion check. And again, I'm going to be a dick. It is going to be contested because of who this man is.
Okay, that's a 19.
He sighs. Look, I know as much as you do right now. I was about to be drifting off to sleep when there was a knock on my door. And here I am getting my knee cut open. Thank
Yeah,
you
I'm
for that.
sorry for that.
I don't need sorries. Look,
Too bad.
well, I appreciate it then. I don't know what's happened. I know what has happened in the past, as you say. Trust me, I don't know how much you know of the Creed, from what you told me. In the name of secrecy, I've spilled blood. And more than my fair share of it. I don't do that anymore. In the name of reform, in the name of betterment. I was forced to. Now I don't. I can do what I like and protect those secrets by just keeping my mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
That's
not
good
being
policy.
difficult deliberately, in the sense of wanting to keep you out. If I get permission from Mary, if we can find her, then I can let you in. And I would happily do so. But being a secret organization, fundamentally, what we do is very, very dangerous in those tunnels. What goes on in there, I don't want to say it's bad, but there's a reason we operate in secret. The main reason being, if these things do fall into the wrong hands, we keep them safe and secret. Make sure that what we make is good, and it's for the betterment of society. Now, whatever has happened, I know the artifact you're talking about. I believe it has now been renamed since we found it. It is the Arcanus Nullfield, is what it's been called. It's for sure that what's gone off.
In
Won't be
your
planning any
opinion-
tests of it, not that I am aware about.
In your opinion, based on the intricacies of the Creed, obviously I'm not in the Creed, so I don't know. Do you think this could be a calculated attempt to retake control by those that were usurped originally?
I would be exceptionally skeptical about that. When Mary Silversong took control, how shall I put this without damaging her image in your eyes? There was a purge of sorts.
She was ruthless.
She was ruthless. If you still fell under the old regime and were loyal to that ideology, you were gone.
Good.
And I don't mean just... I mean gone. You lived in secret, you die in secret. I oversaw some of that, I will say, in the name of being honest. However, going forward, I would highly doubt there's any sympathizers left, and if there are, then we've been played for fools again.
You are a secret organization. You are trained all to be secret. It wouldn't exactly be out of the realms of possibilities, but
Far from it.
I understand that you can't simply sit and say that you can just give us information. Look,
Again, if you let me go, I can go find out more. I'm acting on behalf of the Crown. I want to know what's happening as well. I've told you, I don't know if this was going to be tested, if it has been tested, or if there is an incursion. I know what you know, which is fuck all.
I'll look to Elena. May I make some a deal in safeguard on behalf of the Crown in this instance?
She looks at you. I just realized this music is very weird. And sort of just raises an eyebrow. What are you thinking?
We don't know if these effects can intensify over time, and we don't know if we will find Silversong. I say we give them the benefit of the doubt to find Silversong and aid us, but over too long of a period, this could become extremely deadly, especially if, God forbid, the Shader Kai decide now is the time to attack. So we put a time limit till we are told only the necessary information.
She looks towards, or is looking at you during this conversation, and looks down towards the tiefling on the ground. How quickly can you find out? She asks him. He looks back up at her and down at his leg a little bit, then back up at her again. Within the hour. I can be fast. I can get people to move with and for me.
Okay.
I can find out within the hour.
I'd
She
say
looks
give him
pretty
2 hours
much-
then.
You have 2 hours, Malachus. I want you back in this room within that time. If not, you can have another meeting with Falcoris again. He looks up at her and gives a respectful nod. And then he holds out a hand towards you, Wash, as if to ask him silently to help him up to his feet.
I will help him, and then I'll use lay on hands just to heal his wound, just in the interest of going faster.
I appreciate that. Your Highness gives her a very deep respectful bow. She gives a nod of the head and immediately looks away. He looks towards everybody else on the throne room one by one, which is basically lines at this point. But then he sort of leaves Wash. He sort of, with his back towards everybody, just sort of looks over at you. Thank you. And then he makes his way out the throne room quickly. And it's near enough about that time where, as Malachus disappears into the dark with haste, the 3 of you guys, Elleril, Azraelion, and Lavender, begin to re-emerge into the scene. You find yourselves going down the palace corridors. Now, are you trying to give your respective animals the scent still, or are you trying to do something different in this meantime? Just to know if you guys are going to the throne room or trying to maybe easy pick up a track.
Yeah, I'll probably get a lower bump from Elro as to what the robes represent and colour-wise. And...
Yeah. I tell him like
stuff, yeah.
red or leaders, like Grey's assassins, all that jazz.
Which is lucky he wasn't still in the room, because I'd have just seen assassin and went for him. Thank you.
I won! Body rushes him. But yeah. What are you 3 up to then? Are you tracking, tracing, or are you going back to the throne room to reconvene?
Reconvene, probably.
Yeah, reconvene first. Last time we see Falcoris fuming outside.
Nothing new.
Falcoris is probably... You probably don't know who Falcoris is. He's just beelined out before the scene finished, so he's in
he's
the night
gone.
right now. He's gone, yeah. He is out.
Yeah, we'll probably just head in, give an update.
You get to the throne and you can feel as you open the door the tension in the air. As Elena sort of looks over, and you can see she's got just a deep furrow in her brow. Even Lily's like, "Oh shit, girl," sort of thing right now. But yeah, there's that. You can cut the tension in this room with a knife. It is that thick.
We didn't find anything in the room.
Well, at least it was slightly more calm for you. The Creed have got 2 hours to find Silver Song. That doesn't mean we can't look for her as well. And I have no idea where Falcoris is gone. Tried
Would
to...
he not take us to?
He said he would come back and make sure there was an official meeting. He's got 2 hours to find her. That was the deal, really, in terms of secrecy.
What do you mean?
They won't give up the information of where their base is, due to that secrecy.
Fucking typical,
And-
isn't it?
Serving
Always
the crown.
prioritizing themselves over the people. I warned everyone
No one
about
thinks
this.
to come and get me?
As soon as he finds Silver Song, he'll come back here.
I meant in before whatever one seems to have gone down, because we're down a member, so something's.
Yes, Falcoris attempted to physically interrogate him, but he
Okay,
was...
So we went for violence before asking her fucking daughter to come into the room.
Yep, pretty much. What was the cloak color again? It was grey, wasn't it?
It was
It was
the
grey.
assassin, yeah.
It was
Assassin, yeah.
it was a grey cloak, so he was a pretty
Again, no one
strong
thought
individual.
that I could have maybe spoken to him at any point. No, we're just gonna go for violence.
Look, I mended as much as I could. I healed him. He's fine. He is collaborating with us. Thankfully, I have no idea where Falcoris went to.
Yeah, but that's the problem. We're trying to collaborate, and Falcoris has gone alone, so he might just mess up the entire collaboration if he's just gone in guns blazing.
It's not collaborating if they're keeping this hidden from us when we need to know for the safety of the people of Pavmar.
Falcoris is
It's
a very,
antagonistic and it's treason.
he's a very determined individual. Falcoris is looking out for the people more than anyone else. I understand your point, Lavender, but you got to look at it from his point too.
And I will say,
It's-
brother, it isn't treason. We had a meeting and I allowed them to operate in some secret. On a tighter leash, but I gave them permissions.
All due respect, Helena, this is as if they're acting without a leash at all.
They are compliant so far.
Are they? We have an incident, and we have no information about that.
We managed to negotiate it down from them never giving us the information to giving it to us within 2 hours of Silversong not being found, where either or she will tell us the information. She'll certainly tell her daughter the information. Or we will be told firsthand ourselves. It's better than what it was before. We need to focus on the problem at the moment. Instead of
So while
squabbling.
we wait.
I never said we wait. We can look for her, but first off, I think all in all, we need to group together again.
We're quite amazed so they would catch Falcoris.
I don't know where specifically he'd go. If he was pissed off, so
Excuse me.
place I'd go immediately is the crater.
Just as a side note, Falcoris wouldn't have went to the crater by himself. He was just getting, or the behemoth
You got a
thingy.
line with you.
He,
Yeah.
he was basically like point me that direction, and then Falcoris would be like kind of waiting outside the gates, expecting everybody else to kind of catch up,
Okay, not a problem at all, thank you.
or like this like direction of wherever it is.
I know what you mean, yeah, I'm with you.
Then I think heading out to the Greater Tolic Prime is the best bet.
We'll wait
I
here
agree.
for when Malachus returns.
What is this crater? And then you can give me that load.
You haven't fucking seen it?
You will have passed it at one point, Israel, where it is as you sort of walk into Pavmar, there's just a larger area where there's a lot of construction that's randomly there, as if something hit the ground, but whatever, as you sort of find out, the ground rose up, basically, and an airship was being built underneath this part of the town in secret. And then when a spider dragon attacked, the airship was deployed, breaking through the earth and rising to the air.
Like, I mean, I probably would have passed it, but my perception skills is more so for finding my prey rather than what's round about me. So
Fuck is
A
that?
lot of time in the Underdark. Like he just assumed that was normal.
A reverse crater.
Yeah.
But with that, you guys all begin to leave. Elena saying obviously they'll wait there for Malachus to return. And with... beg your pardon, sorry. With what Wash says, maybe heading towards that crater / construction area sort of thing, you guys make your way out and into the night, and it isn't long before you sort of say you bump into Falcoris, who's been waiting for you in the dark, cool air. Is the lion still with you? Did you dismiss them, or?
I'll dismiss them. I'll just like say get back to your duties or get like go defend whatever, you know, because again I would be like it could be an imminent attack. God, fuck, I fucked that one up. Anyway, could be an attack.
He will leave at that point, and then by the maybe about 10 minutes or so later, the rest of your party, with animals in tow, come forth from the darkness.
Are you okay, Falcoris?
I'm fine. Unfortunately, the Creed are still fucking running around with grey robes, which are doing me nothing. But,
That means they're assassins.
yes. Well, they used to be, accordingly. Wait, how do you know that? Anyways,
Thank you, Alexa.
Assassins with robes.
Right now, we're kind of running out of time. That's why I didn't have... Sorry, Wash, for that display, but we don't have time on our side right now. This could be an attack. We don't know where the fuck it's coming from, and we need to figure out how the fuck to get rid of this.
Avmar was less vulnerable than this when the Shadowfell saw an opportunity to attack with the spider dragons before.
Exactly. And my fear is that they've somehow managed to infiltrate the Creed and activated this themselves. So...
Maybe, but then we'd be seeing marching soldiers if they can just teleport this. If anything, it'll be an attack of opportunity rather than one of plan. This could be a fuck up that we need to sort quickly, but it's it's politically it's a difficult scenario.
Right now, I'm treating this as I'm treating this as worst case scenario. It's the only way to fucking make sure everybody stays safe. We're under attack. It's the way I'm operating.
I think going this long without hearing from the Creed official word of what's going on, I think it's best to assume the worst.
Perfect time to do it when Mary Silversong was away from them as well.
Look, we push too far into the Creed, it will start a war again. We've brokered a deal. They are assisting us, but politically it's a difficult scenario, especially since they are technically under the protection of the crown. We can't just go in guns blazing. We need to give them a piece of the benefit of the doubt. He has 2 hours to get us Silversong. If he doesn't, he said he would give us the location and any other information. It's the best we're going to do in this scenario. The other thing that we could do, if you want to keep focus on the attack angle, is arrange soldiers, arrange emergency personnel, and get civilians to a tactically defendable place. Because currently, it's pandemonium. Everybody is terrified. Everybody is wondering what's happening. Loved ones are losing magic. Their loved ones are panicking. If we are about to be attacked, that will be mass casualties. If we just focus on the time being, moving them to a secure location, getting people prepared as if there was an attack, at the very least, if there is, people are prepared for the least amount of casualties, if possible, in this scenario. It still gives the Creed time to find Silversong and work this out politically. After that, the Crown has ordered them to give us the information we need to go in and solve it ourselves. This will avoid a war and still work towards the objective that everybody needs to focus on, which is the fact that this is meant to be a collaboration. We push too far into one side, they push too far, it will break down.
I will say this,
Wash.
I was there for the meeting with the Creed. We said secrecy, none between us. They could keep the secrecy between the public. That was fine. But we were to know what the fuck they were doing, whenever they were doing it. Elena's obviously taken it on herself to give them a little bit more leeway. That was not what I was under the pretense of. So when he was saying that he was keeping their secrets, I was not happy with that. We were the ones that gave him the right to keep going.
No. The Queen was the right to give that. We are defenders. We don't make up the rules. We don't demand anything of the Queen. The Queen follows that.
Which is why I left. But now we need to figure out, as defenders of the throne, what the fuck is keeping most of our defenses down.
Elril just turned to the lion, and you heard him. Organize the defense. Make sure the people are safe.
Your Highness.
Elena's a smart cookie. Imagine she's already on that, but be good to get that word to her.
So far, the Creed have given us nothing. They prioritize their secrets over the well-being of the people. I've said long ago, I asked for one thing. I asked for a name. so that I knew they trusted me just as much as I could trust them, and they've refused to give that. If they were genuinely interested in protecting people, they wouldn't be so underhanded about this. Going forward, there is no benefit of the doubt. They've exhausted all of that grace.
Prince,
Mm,
are you going to be on the front lines of that next war?
I'll be there.
Will you
I was
be
there
the
dealing
first
with it
one?
before.
Will you be the first one to sit under their hail of fire? Will you be the first one to strike swords on the battlefield?
I'll hit him at this point. Like,
Okay.
Ariel's fucking heated. Yeah, I will.
Will this be your
Just
strength?
melee.
Your...
Strength,
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a negative, but it's 17.
Nah.
Oh wait, I thought you were saying it was a negative 17. I was like, well, what?
Yeah.
Is it what?
No.
Man's arms break.
Man breaks 8's midair.
I was like,
You do lash out, and you do. There's no like. You do hit Wash. You're not gonna miss him, but again, your fist collides with thick metal.
don't presume what you know. You don't know them like I do.
Doesn't matter. You're talking
take
from
them
your
down.
experience at the moment. Don't
And
look
you
at it
have
from
no
your
experience.
experience. Look at it from the experience of the people around you who
Wash,
will
I feel like
suffer
I'm the only
because
person
of
that
it.
gives a fuck about the people around us. You're defending them. You're defending murderers. They fucking slaughter people. Relentless. You're talking to an assassin in there. Do you know that? Why
And
are you
you're
so quick
talking to
defend
a
them?
man who has killed children by accident. Your
I'm
point?
talking to a child at this point.
Remove yourself from the situation and look at the fact that if you start a war, you have no idea what the consequences will be.
I'll deal with those consequences as I always have.
You
But don't
know
presume
you
that
will.
I'm going to be a coward that'll back out of this. I stand by my convictions, Wash. Can you say the same? And Elro will walk off towards the crowd at this point.
These people done necromancy. These people tried to fuck around with things they shouldn't have done. When we brought them back, we made a deal with them that they would do things for the betterment of the people, and there was no secrets, not between us. And I know that you were saying as Lena's made a deal, and like I said, that's why I walked out. Something we'll talk about later. But right now, the city is under attack. The defences are down. That's the way we've got to operate. Because if we don't operate that way and it ends up coming true, we're fucked. So we need to find out what the fuck this problem is and fix it now. Everything else can wait. So you're with us, Wash?
Bodies are the defense. Sure, magic is gone, but still, I don't see any fleet of ships. I see people who are terrified in the streets about something that's right now that they don't know what's happening. And tensions are already high enough.
We'll do fuck all to alleviate them right now. The only way we can do this is by finding out what the fuck is going on and fixing it. We're not going to be the ones to calm them down. That's for the crown. And I believe right now, Elena will be already doing that even before the lion reaches her ears. She's a smart cookie. She looks after the people. So, but right now, I think we are the ones to go and find out. Because what if this has been taken under control by somebody else? We're the ones skilled enough to take it back.
Then it needs fixed, obviously, but we need to drop this. We need to drop this attitude thinking that the Creed are doing this maliciously.
I didn't
Because
say the
that
Creed.
will only breed tension. Well, look, if mistakes are made, they will be solved. At the very least, this will be a learning point for the Queen to not give them permission, or at least hold the leash tighter. But you're right, it could be someone else. But in this instance, it helps nobody to run in hot-tempered into a place where we may not be finding foes and starting something that we don't. We should go investigate. I am with you. But there's an air of caution that we need to play here. War is never something people should run to.
But if we're the ones to prevent an attack that will start a war, then I'm willing to fucking run full speed ahead. And Wash, we're running out of time.
I never said we couldn't go find them. I'm just saying, when this is over, attack or not, we can't ask the Creed to disband or hang. There are answers here that need to be taken.
That's all for later. Like I said, clock's ticking, Wash. We need to move. And instantly when he says that, Falcorus is going to use Mask of Many Faces, and he's going to turn himself into Malachus. And he just turns around and goes,
Okay.
I've got a way in. And then he just starts walking towards the crater.
Fair enough. Wash, Lavender, and Israelion, are you guys following suit, or?
I'll follow suit. I feel awkward, but I'll follow suit.
You guys all, with Falcorus and Eluriel leading the charge, basically, the other three follow from behind. At this point here, with Falcorus looking like Malachus. You guys get to the area where Behemoth 6 once took off and was made skyward, and you can again see the construction that's going on around here, where it is just built up areas, scaffolding, little what we would call old cranes, obviously, the wooden cranes, the ropes attached to them. And you get there, and what are you guys up to as you all see the construction that's been left behind? You can see that for the most part, where the ground has been mostly repaired now, being need to have buildings that can be built upon.
I'm probably just looking for maybe like first into the crater, see if there's like any remnants of like a room or something, like a corridor that leads to obviously where this airship kind of burst through the earth.
Mm-hmm. Make a perception check for me, please.
Just as
I
I...
have a,
Oh, sorry.
Wasn't that 20?
I have a question, DM. Did you mean
Please.
to let slip for Malakith to say tunnels?
No, that was deliberate.
Okay. I'm just
Um,
related to just
It's 26 total.
26 total. Wash, and you go, sorry?
the assassin did say tunnels. I don't think he meant to, but he did say tunnels. So assuming that's what we're looking for.
Way back in the beginning of the campaign, we ended up going into a Creed
Stronghold, yep. the
stronghold,
abandoned Creed
and
site,
then
yep.
also obviously we went to the Great Everby stronghold. Each time there was obviously the entrance was like covered essentially, like obviously disguised, but was there markings that we could tell?
Not externally, no.
Right.
It was like, like, you sort of like found, like, for example, the old one that was just out in the wilderness by Ja Rule, and you didn't see the, like, a sign advertised who would be living inside this chamber. You only saw the confirmation where you were when you were deep inside it, sort of thing. So anyone who was coming in would figure out later where they were, and it was the same to everybody, where it was just, if you mind, just a descending staircase down. Then when you hit the corridors at the bottom of the staircase is when it would then say, like, the branding of the faction. But with a natural 20, peering down, and with Wash's sort of adding on that the Malachus mentioned about tunnels and the like. Again, a lot of the things here are being rebuilt and have been rebuilt. There isn't a massive crater anymore. A lot of it has been filled in with an artificial ground, basically, to prop the city street up from where the airship left a massive wound in the land, leaving a scar behind. But you do see with a natural 20, there are points where, again, there are some things that hasn't been filled in yet, and you can sort of peer through down into the dirt and the earth. And you don't see anything that resembles a tunnel or even like old sewer pipes or anything else like that. It has all been broken away. You can see the remnants of the old dry dock for sure. So if you look down further, you can see the bottom like a concrete a long, long concrete base. You can see points where you compare like an actual dock to this, where things have just been left behind that are of inconsequence, like old buckets and tools and that sort of stuff. You know, you can see the dry dock, but you can't see any tunnels that lead off of it anymore.
Okay.
As you guys are all walking around though, can I get everyone to make another perception check for me, please?
Ooh, not a great roll. For
Oh, no.
colors.
6.
6. Okay. 9. Oh no.
15.
Of course. 15. That's low for you, man.
I know that. It's low for chorus, that's the thing.
5 then, yeah.
23 for me.
23 for you. As you are, we'll get Lavender to roll in a wee second when she comes back.
She's just dealing with something, so I don't know how long she's going to be.
No, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. You are all sort of looking around and that sort of stuff, and as you begin to pay attention past Wash and Azraelian, you don't notice this, but Falcorus, you barely notice this. Elro, you do. As you're all looking around and that sort of stuff, in the dead of night, obviously, there are, in the distance, you can hear people, as Wash highlighted, people are concerned. There are civilians that are yelling out to darkness and that sort of stuff. Not in a full riot and panic, but people that are concerned what's happening. We should make a bigger plan. But as you're sort of looking around this thing, you can see there are people that just seem out of place. There are people that are just sort of standing, looking at you, looking at the crater. They're not making a move. They're not like, standing in like, rooftops or anything else like that. They're just sort of scattered on the streets at your level. And they've noticed you and they're watching you. Proactively watching you. Not a case of, that's weird. Go about my day.
Can I'll point out to everyone. Just
you
discreetly,
point it out.
like,
Yep.
like as subtly as I can, maybe just walking past and it's like we're being watched. But can I maybe insight check?
As you're doing that, can I speak to Adar and just sign for her to go invisible and watch?
Yep. You basically sign for Adar to, as you say, go invisible. And what Adar basically does, she basically walks past you, so you basically body block her from line of sight from the individual, and as she walks past, she goes invisible, in a line sort of thing. She goes, as her head pops up, then becomes invisible, goes down her body, so as she walks past you...
Well, creates
she's
an
not there.
illusion where she's still there, but her real self goes invisible and goes away. Something
Yeah.
like that. Right.
Yeah, so that's how she buried it. As the illusion, she basically mirrors herself, and the illusion splits off from her visible form. So it looks like she just comes to heal and sits by your side, but really she's skulked off in the distance, in the shadows, invisible.
See, with Caligorm obviously pointing out the people watching us, obviously I still look like Malachus. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be as if I'm explaining what the fuck the Creed has done at this site, right? Just kind of point in areas and then make it look like we've been building kind of things and stuff like that to make it seem like I am taking them a tour right now and just trying to explain to them. But at the same time, he's going to raise his voice a little and just be like, I still don't know what is going on, type of thing, and just make it out as if it is actually Malachus there, and he's like, what the fuck do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Sorry,
What, you got anything?
could we just
Please
take a bit? This sounds like a 2-man job. So could we just take a break for 5 minutes? If that's okay.
Yeah, of course, when you hit the BRB screen, yeah, of course, not a problem at all, buddy.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
BRB screen, be back in 2, guys.
Cheers, guys. And welcome back. Thank you for waiting for us. But we'll jump right back into the action again. So we were basically noticing that people were watching you. Adar snuck off into the background, and Falcoris is pretending to mimic being Malachus.
Which I
in
can
this
do a
instance.
deception check if you wish.
I would ask that for me, please. If that is okay, good sir.
Pretty decent. Oh, my character sheets.
Matt, can I roll an insight check?
Oh, sorry, yeah, for the seeing what they're up to. Yeah, of course, yeah, please.
Okay.
Intimidation. So that's a 23.
23 deception, okay.
I got
And
15.
15. With a 15, again, the darkness of night is really hard to tell. You can't see facial features. The body language you can read is very, I guess, relaxed is probably the word I'm looking for. They are not like, hands on hips, ready for it to be have weapon drawn by the looks of things. They are just silently observing, it feels like. But they are proactive. So again, as just to reiterate, it's not a case of someone noticing you going, that's strange, they're in the construction yard, and then moving on with the day. They are watching you. And you can probably work out, as you sort of look around, there's maybe 3 to 4 people watching you at this point from different angles. And Falcoris, you're with your deception, pretend to be Malachus, calling out, you're a pretend tour almost. You sort of say, oh, this is where the school's being built that you saw advertised when you returned to Pathmar. This is where more the housing. We're going to have 2-story houses with businesses on the ground floor. It's that sort of stuff, But I'm not sure what's happening still.
It's more the case of I don't know everything that's going on in the Creed.
And I just sort of put this display forward. One of the shadowed individuals begins to walk up to you. And you sort of not up to you, but it's into the group's direction sort of thing. And as you sort of step forward, you can see a human woman, maybe in her 30s or so, mid-30s at a push. She's got curly hair that comes out to about her shoulder, dark green eyes, little scar on the bridge of her nose, and she's just wearing not Creed attire, just normal clothes. Normal trousers and a shirt and a jacket, probably to fend off the cold.
What colours are main colour, Matt?
It's very beigey sort of aesthetic right now.
Fuck it. She dies.
That's not one of the colours. Push her in the hole.
It's a fucking Vine where it's on the TikTok where it's like leaving your boyfriend at the beach sort of thing. But no, she does sort of approach and she looks towards you, Malchus. Do you know what's going on here?
I have no clue. Defenders of the throne have been told to come down here and investigate.
Well, you know that we can't let anybody in.
I understand that, but orders of the crown. Mary Silversong.
Mary Silversong's not been here for 7 days.
Yes, but in touch with the crown.
Make another deception check for me, please.
Yes, no worries.
As they're actually looking for news of Mary Silversong.
That's a good fucking roll. That's going to be 27.
27. Malchus, I know that the deal that he struck, we can't just let people in. We're trying to figure out how we activated it.
I think Taylor wanted to do something as well.
Please.
Before she came up, can I slip kind of into an alley and slip on one of the robes that we took?
Oh shit! Yeah, from Mary's wardrobe. Yeah, as sort of Adar is making her sort of stealthy way, you sort of see this happen and follow suit, and you yourself skulk into the distance in the shadows and in the darkened night. Roll stealth with advantage, but. This is gonna be a good plan.
I love a good stealth roll.
I love a good stuff, especially an advantage stuff for 23 easily done. You skulk off into the corner.
Beautiful.
You adorn this robe, fix it so it's on properly, so doesn't look like you rushed to put it on, sort of thing. You make sure it's sitting properly on your shoulders. You and your mother are very similar height now that you're an adult, obviously. So it fits quite well. Excuse me. And as this individual comes up, are you making yourself known? You stay out of sight a little bit longer, or?
I'll stay like behind.
Mhm.
The other.
No problem. But so when you're staying behind them, do you sort of make yourself known that you're not hidden in the shadows anymore, or you're sort of stepping out the shadows to
I'll step
so
out
they
the
can
shadows,
see
but
you?
I'm still behind the others. Yeah.
Okay. So you step out and but you don't announce yourself, but they can see. She's looking around, talking to who she believes is Malachus, and then she sort of looks around and sees a member of the Krieg. And do you have the hood up to hide who you actually are, or? She sort of notices this another Creed member with you, Malachus. Look, which on a bit of a lockdown right now, whilst you try and get the nullifier under control again. It's all I know.
You understand the Crown's putting pressure on me now.
I understand that, but Mary put a whole lot more pressure on us. How about we take you to the door, and then we'll see if there's any updates so you can feed back to the Crown.
We'll try that.
Cool.
And I will
And she
look
sort
at her
of-
expectantly.
Oh, okay. Follow me then.
Let me
She
take all
still-
of us to the door.
She does say, I'll take you to the door. I'm just saying. So I'm like, okay, fair, you take us.
She'll lead. Sorry, Azrael, you were going to ask something there, sorry, or?
No, I'm just gonna ask that means it take all of us to the door or just him?
Yeah, all of you can come, yeah, 100%. And as you guys walk over, she leads you away from the construction sort of area, and you almost go, for lack of a better term, towards the palace again, if you're in this, but still in the, you're skirting around the construction area sort of thing, for lack of a better term. You almost go behind it through some back streets, and you see there's a building that's still being constructed. It's just a shop face, but it's got a blank wall. There's no name of a shop on the front of it yet. There's not even glass in the window. There's just what do you call it, wood covering the front of this window pane still. All it really has is brick and mortar and a door, effectively. Two-story building, fairly nondescript. There's no identity to it as of yet. But she goes up to the door, she opens it, and sort of beckons you all to enter, obviously, because knowing that Malachus and this other Creed member will certainly know. But asking the other three basically wash Elril and Azraelion to follow. Azrael, just a point of interest, are you getting a dart to follow you still, or stay outside? Now that she's invisible and can do these things.
So how would that work with the illusion though? Because I've got the illusion.
You can have the
beside me.
illusion obviously at your side sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have the illusion still walk with me, but I'll have Adar stay invisible.
Cool. Not a problem at all. Coming with you or staying outside?
Staying outside.
Staying outside for now, okay. You enter this room and she shuts the door behind her and locks it. Again, even in here, you can sort of see there is just a blank slate of a room. There is no... This will one day be a shop. This hasn't been built for living quarters. There's no dividing walls apart from the back of it. This is an open shop floor just now. But there's no shelves, there's no dividing bits. You can't tell if it's going to become a workshop. It's just a total blank slate just now. It's got the wooden floors in, and that's kind of it. And she goes to the back of the shop. And again, you will follow suit. And with that, she then gets behind the counter, walks behind the one of the rooms that has got a division in it. And she gets to where effectively there would be the stairs that lead upstairs. She goes, and there's a hatch, simple hatch in the floor that she just simply opens up. And then you can see a descending ladder that goes down deeper than any basement should normally be. If you guys wouldn't mind waiting here, I'll go see if there's an update yet.
Sure.
Hang tight. She goes down and starts to climb down. She gets to where it's comfortable for her to do so, reaches up and closes the hatch over again. And you can hear the descending. Dun, 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 dun,
Of course,
down the
she's gonna
rungs.
wait a minute and then look at Lavender and go, "Fucking hell, you gave me a fright." Right? Are you gonna pretend to be your mum?
No questions have been asked yet.
Yeah, I don't think they fully know who you are under the hood, but you're gonna try.
Okay.
All right.
Taylor, I
do
think
we
your
know-
mic's not picking up, I think. Oh, it's over there, sorry. There we go. No worries. There you go.
No.
Oh, there we go. I can hear you perfectly now.
There we go.
In Discord, doing Discord things there, sorry.
Right. Well.
I can
Oh,
try.
sorry, Wash. You were about to say something. My bad.
Do we know if the creed works by succession? So if Mary hasn't been gone long enough, or Mary's gone long enough, then technically they would have to answer to Lavender.
The only thing that you know of how their operations go is obviously Mary overthrew the Everby by war. The only other thing that you sort of know is that what Joel's effectively told you about the leadership, where the person that you guys overthrew was his ex-leader, effectively. And she was in power before he came into the equation, effectively, as an orphan. So you guys actually don't know how... Again, is it a case of succession? Is it just overthrowing? Is it a council now that Mary's in charge? You know, all that you guys definitely need to know, though, is Mary is the top dog right now. But you don't know what happens if she was to, you know, pass or go missing for an extended period of time. Who takes this control afterwards? If Lavender is by blood, could be a Creed now, leader of it, should you choose to be.
It may be worth asking that question when they come back. If they would answer to Lavender instead of using deception. Obviously, we're not going to reveal that you're who you are immediately, but
I mean, if they say no,
it doesn't hurt to ask.
and then we try and play her off as Mary, then it's going to be a little bit sus. It's up to you, Lavender. You want to play your mum, or you want to be you?
We've got to factor in as well that it might not be how they succeed control.
True. I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm saying that we should maybe ask. It's a difficult question to ask, of course, but who knows? At this point, they might just be looking for some sort of leader. But again, I don't know.
I think it's Lavender's call what she thinks is best.
Do you want to reveal yourself? Or...
Well, I'll just stay hidden for a bit and see.
You guys have this conversation. There's a little bit of time where you'll see the... Excuse me, do beg your pardon. Where there is just an unknown element of where this individual is. But then you begin to hear, finally, what sounds like someone climbing up the hatch. You can hear the echoing and that sort of stuff coming up. Before the hatch door, so I'm really struggling with this now. The hatch door is opened up, and you can see this human, the same woman that descended, reemerges. If you want, you can come down and speak to teacher. Teacher will be happy to see you just now.
Sure. And Falcora's still just taking on the persona is going to be like, well, fucking hell, like, shit. It's not exactly the ideal thing, but we're getting in further, which is decent.
You guys, one by one, are all invited as well, in case people wondering. You're all invited to come down this ladder. And as you get down to the bottom, you can see you probably descend maybe about 40 feet or so, before you come down. And as you get down, you can start to hear something very similar to what you heard in the old one. Clockwork. In the distance, you can hear the sounds of mechanics just moving and parts interlocking and scratching and scraping off one another. It sounds very, very similar to what it did in the Everby when you descended into that sanctorium. And as you get down there, very Fallout style, you see at the bottom of this thing, there's a large circular vault door almost. I'm just ripping off Fallout at this point. I completely admit that. I said, please don't come after me. But you do see this vault door-like thing sitting there, currently half open. No need to open it all the way. And standing in front of it right now, their hands sort of clasped in front of them, is a fairly tall figure, maybe about 6'6" or so. Very broad-shouldered, heavy-chested as well, but made of metal.
Oh.
You see a Warforged standing before you.
Oh, we love a good Warforged.
And then you sort of approach, and you can see they turn their head and they go, "Good evening."
Matt, does he
Marcus.
does he look similar to Patriot in design?
Fairly similar.
Interesting. Okay.
you can certainly draw similarities between himself and Patriot, whereas Patriot, will say, had like a more, to class him, juggernaut aesthetic with the fucking massive broad shoulders, tall back, and, you know, brute force. Warforges aren't actually bigger anyway, but this one's more toned down a little bit. But you probably still want to go hand to hand with him at the same. And I should say right now he's wearing a red robe over his shoulders.
Thank fuck it's not a grey one.
Kills, like, but he turns again. Malchus,
Teacher.
how are you?
Being pressed. What's happening?
Quite a few things. The null field has been activated.
And was that scheduled?
Unfortunately not, no. I have been told to keep this under secret, but I told you about 10 minutes ago. Mary Silversong has returned.
Where is she? I need to talk to her.
You may drop your illusion, sir.
Of course, I'll just be like, fucking oh well, and just completely just change back into full chorus. I mean, I was close. You can give me that.
I spoke to the real Malchus but 10 minutes ago. Noble effort, though. I will give you credit.
Where is Mary Silversong?
He's inside the Sanctorium, trying to clean up the mess that we have made.
I'll kind of look over my shoulder, not as like oh look who this is. I'll just kind of be looking like Lavender, like, are you wanting to do anything right now? And wait for any kind of indication.
As Malchus drops form, by the way, you can see the woman that led you down. Her cheeks go immediately red. She realizes she's been taken for a mug a little bit. And teacher turns to her. It's okay, Clara. We'll talk about this later.
Oh well.
She's been fired.
Oh fuck!
It's not us issue.
It's appropriate for him to be called teacher with that sort of attitude.
Damn. Of course, we'll be like, well, can you take us to Mary Silversong then?
Mm-hmm. Lavender, I think you were going to say something.
Oh.
She'll just take her hood down now.
Okay.
A young Silversong. My. Mary has spoke quite highly of you.
Can I see her?
Certainly. If you wouldn't mind coming in, there is a waiting room behind this door here. I would ask that you please wait here whilst I go speak to Mary, as she is quite busy at this moment in time with the null field being activated. She is trying her best right now to deactivate and calm the situation.
Teacher, if it is okay, could I go back to the main gate and get my cat since the illusion is over?
You have a cat? Fantastic. Please. I love cats.
Here's a displacer beast.
Lavender's just gonna look at Brownie and pat him just slowly, like it's okay.
I'll go back to the main gate and just tell Adar to like, become visible and
Yep.
Poor Brownie.
You guys come downstairs again and meet everyone united. Now, I would ask, before we enter the Sanctorium, as it goes without saying, I'm sure, if you wouldn't mind keeping some what you see things... If you wouldn't mind keeping the things you see here secret. From the public at the very least.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I appreciate your candor. Please, follow me into the waiting room. And he sort of turns on his heels. Clara, please wait there. I will pick you up shortly. And he turns back and sort of walks into the waiting room, and you guys walk past the vault door through him. And you can see there is indeed sort of like a lobby-ish area, where there are chairs, a couple of tables that are set out, some plants are being watered. And teacher sort of comes in and goes, I will get Mary Silversong just now for you all. Can I get you anything whilst you wait? I shouldn't be too long, but can I please offer you anything as a gesture of hospitality?
Just Mary Silversong.
Just Mary Silversong. Fantastic. Oh, please, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, sir.
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Well, please, stay here so I can find you with ease. I will be with Mary Silversong as soon as I possibly can. Thank you very much. So that you can hear, again, being a warforged, he's not wearing shoes, and you can hear the clunk, clunk, clunk as he walks away in his large metal form. And above you, all you can hear, again, now that you're inside the Sanctorium proper, is the whirring of cogs. Again, just, there are the walls that built around you, and these cogs are moving behind the walls somewhere, doing Lord's knows what, the distance and background. Is there anything you'd like to do whilst you wait?
Chris, you're really close to your mic.
Am I? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
we
because the
can hear
fucking.
you.
It's the things.
I was going to say, we could hear you breathing.
You just say there.
Like, Wash,
I'm
back
wondering
up.
if it's-
You're right, me.
It was one of those things I thought, oh, it'll be done soon, we don't need to address it, and then you did
I'm
such a
so
long
sorry.
exhale. It's okay.
Oh, sorry, my settings have gone back
Don't be
to
sorry, Tom.
automatically determined. So it's like,
I'm just picturing Wash like right up against Ella right now.
you fucking tried to hit me, you little shit.
I'll pay for that later, that's fine.
I just picture Wash just like, because he didn't make a dent or anything, it just made like a little scuff mark or something. And, like Wash was just
This,
saying like,
You've
I don't even
scuffed
picture
my
that.
heinously dirty armor. Fuck you.
Like Elril in his head thinks he did like a majestic punch in the face, but it was more of like a You have to jump to reach him. He's what 6'5"?
I'm just waiting.
5'10", but
I'm just
okay.
waiting for him
Okay.
like an hour. Like we're just looking at Ariel's hands like slowly swell from like being like bruised.
Does anybody have an expert?
I'm so sorry. I'm just sitting there breathing. Jesus Christ.
It wasn't that long, it literally just started there. That's why.
Just literally one breath that you took was like, right, this is not going to go away. We'll address this quick. But
See,
eventually, that's it.
well, while we're waiting for obviously to come back with Mary, I will kind of say to the group, I'll be like, well, two things have been confirmed. It was them that turned it on, whether it was an accident or not. And then two, Malachus has a different way in.
Definitely.
He got here fast
surprised.
without passing us. So there is another way in. And good information.
Yeah. And we know it's definitely not magic.
Right. And then Falkers will kind of lean up against the wall and just...
You thankfully don't have to wait too long. Within the space of like 3 or 4 minutes, the corridor that teacher comes back from, and he has brought Mary Silversong. Now she is her forehead is drenched in sweat right now. Where before she's been wearing the robes that are very loosely flowing, even when you found her and that sort of stuff. So wearing the robes and the cloak and that sort of stuff. Right now, she's basically first strap wearing one of those tank top sort of things, so midriff is showing. She has got her trousers on, but they're covered in grease and sweat. You can see she's got abs, by the way, and she is just dripping of sweat right now. And you can she's got grease where she's been wiping her brow, and she comes over and she looks at you all. Back so soon. Hi. Sorry. It's all gone tits up here. I really am sorry.
All right.
Please.
What can we do to help? Because we're going to have to get this off now.
We're trying to... Please. Fine, come in. And she lets you all in. And as you sort of see, what you remember before, well, those who saw it before, I don't remember if Wash did see this or not. No, you didn't see this. Azraela
Wasn't there?
definitely not. No, this is back in the Calanthria days. You enter, and what the three of you remember, Lavender, Elril, and Falcora, sorry, was, as we keep joking, the cube. So it was a cube object, obviously, in size, maybe about 5 feet tall, 5 feet wide, and it was just jam-packed with arcane nodules, aerials, wires, and cogs that you've got no, even though as intelligent as some of you may be, no clue what this machine does. As far as how it works, you know what it did when you fought in the Great Everby. In its vicinity, in a very localized area, magic was not completely nullified, but made it hard to cast. So if you basically cast at a first level or above, thematically speaking, it hurt you to do so. And the higher you cast, the more it hurt. You remember Emmerich really getting into trouble with that one. This has been made bigger. You can see the original cube off to the side as you enter this room. And it's still wired up and connected, but what you see now in front is they've almost doubled it. It is now 10 foot by 10 foot, and they have mimicked what they have built before and made it larger. And you can see right now, as you sort of enter this room, your hair stand on edge as you can just feel the electricity in the air burn through, make your hair stand up. You can see right now there are 3 or 4 Kreen members, much like Mary, covered in sweat. Some of them are shirtless as they are just trying feverishly to turn this thing off with haste. And this room is generating a lot of heat right now, be it from the way this thing is wearing away unstably or something else. This is a very, very hot room in the Sanctorium. And Mary sort of comes over. Look, this is my fault. I'm trying to turn it off. I can explain everything. I just was scared after the Beholder. I wanted to get some tests done. This is my fuck up. I'm trying to turn it off. Please, let's be civil.
Yeah.
I have been told what happened in the throne room. I'm not judging at all. I will deal with Malik. I need this turned off, please.
Yeah. How did we turn it off the last time?
You didn't. No, you did turn it off actually. And no, you didn't turn it off.
No, did we not?
You just-
Did we not hit it? And then we were like, no, that's not a good idea. Did Joel not use dispel magic on it?
I don't think you did. I think you guys hit it. Realized it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
What, sir? And I think you just left it.
Falcoris was attacking it, and then we kind of got it started to grow more unstable as the more he attacked it, and then we defeated the Creed members, and the Creed that was on our side, our sect, the Creed, came in to deal with it.
Right.
So I don't think
You guys didn't turn it off. No.
It's just whether or not we could remember how it was turned off. So I will look at Mary and be like, well, how the fuck do we do it then? Give us
That's
directions.
what we're figuring it out. Right. I need everyone to go, and she start directing people and start. You can see again, very. I'm not going to say computer screens, but very like cog. You push this cog button, it's going to send a signal that way, sort of thing, and she is going to get all of you guys to start helping out. Now, what I'm going to need in this one here is for everyone to either tell me how you want to help, be it to make a flat arcana check, if you want to do something different, use a different skill from the skill tree, something you can think outside the box. I will obviously love the rule of cool. Or if you just want to say, I want to do what I'm told, I'll let you make an arcana check, sort of thing, whatever you guys want. I'm going to let you flavor these things, obviously. Like, if you want to use strength to hold something, I'll let you do that for argument's sake as well.
No, I wonder who'd do that.
just spitballing ideas in case you think, well, I can't really do things 'cause I'm not arcane inclined,
Falcoris be like, I want to look at the cube.
I want to talk to it. Yeah, I want to talk to it.
You just try to run the cube,
Talk to it or
make
look
a
at it.
Please, cube, don't do that.
I have something, but I would rather go last for other people to get their stuffs out if they want to.
Okay, not a problem at all. Anybody want to jump in then? If Forsh has got something wants to hold fire just now, has anybody else got an immediate thing they want to do?
I would like to summon Lucia if I can. That's going to be an interesting thing.
It is. That's actually a very good point right now. You summon her, and again, it takes a lot of effort because again, you're basically, from the metaphor before, you're trying to pull Lucia through a very tiny hole in the brick wall. You do get her out, and as she's sort of standing in front of you, she's almost waving, and her form isn't quite solid, but she is really, she still can interact with the world.
Right. Okay.
She's almost like, she's also using her energy to stay with you now.
Yeah. When she's there, because she can pass through objects, right? I will look at Mary Silversong and be like, is there anything inside the cube that she can get?
There's quite a few things inside, yes, mechanically speaking, of course.
What specifically?
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, just describe something to...
There are quite vital things inside that if you can get inside it, she reckons can help sever or cut the power altogether to it, but she needs someone inside. So if Lucia can do that, that would be a major step in the right direction.
I'll literally go to Lucia, right? Go cup her face and be like, "It's gonna fucking hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna hurt. This gonna be like the last situation where you kind of died out there. I'm sorry, but we need to turn this off."
I mean, it's a habit, all right?
Yeah, you've got
this.
this.
She begins to levitate, and then she phases inside the cube.
And then at the same time, Falcoris is going to use Misty Step to get on top of the cube.
Okay.
And I'm going to start pulling on, let's just say if there's a power wire or something, like I will obviously shout out to Mary Silversong or anybody nearby, be like, right, what can I start trying to pull out? Like, what can I yank?
She will direct you on that one. So, what skill would you like to use for this? Are you just using strength? Are you using?
So I would like to
Something
use.
different?
I would like to use athletics, please.
Please, absolutely. You may use your athletics check to following Mary's instructions, so you don't have to think what to do.
Yeah.
She's saying that blue aerial, yank that shit.
Is there anything you want me to roll for Lucia?
I would actually like you to use basically like a spell attack with Lucy, so your charisma bonus on that one there.
Okay, I'm gonna go do Lucia first then.
Mm-hmm.
So spell attack. Ooh, that's good. So that's a 23.
23, fantastic.
For
yourself?
and myself,
Right,
athletics.
Write these down.
They're not that. Not good. Not great. 18.
18.
Hoping for above the 20s there with a +7, but it is what it is.
Falcoris. Let's type. Perfect. Now you again have no idea because you can't see her what Lucia is up to. Silver Song did give her. Once you go inside, you will see XYZ of components. Pull that, do this, push that one over there. You know, instructions for Lucia to do, and as you sort of jump on top of Falcoris using the Misty Step to get up there, you again feel the intense heat as you get close to this cube. And this, you realize that the room is hot because the cube is boiling right now. And as you're sort of standing on top of it, you're realizing being up here too long might actually start to burn through your shoes. It's getting that hot on the metal points. But you follow instruction, you start yanking these things. You're following Mary's very clear, very concise direction. Panicked as she may be, she's giving clear instructions. And with them, you are following suit and are turning it off. And at one point when Lucia goes inside, maybe 30 seconds later, there is a massive, almost like it surges up again and calms down, and Silver Song will say, right, Lucia's done that, she must be going to the next thing now.
Yeah.
You can see the puzzle pieces going. Anybody else want to now do stuff?
Does anyone else want to go first?
I don't know what I fucking do, man.
Okay.
I kill people for money. Like, I don't know what it is.
Elrel's like, hold this and gives the scabbard for retribution to Trillion. It just sends the sword out flying and just help me with this. And then he's going to take out his Thieves' Tools kit and maybe just get a little bit of guidance from Eva on how to dismantle.
Interesting.
This.
I like that. You're going for the more intricate parts right now, the machine. Again, Mary will direct you. These things are too small right now. If you can try and get in these little spaces with your nimble fingers and try and do that. So I'll let you make a lockpicking check effectively, or a thieves' tools check in general, to try and use your tools to get into more intricate bits to switch off the machine more delicately areas.
Can I get advantage with the soul and the sword guiding me?
Why not?
Hell yeah. Not that I needed it. I think that's a 19 and then a 10. Yeah, 19 on the die. What's that? Too much. 32.
32, yep, absolutely. You begin to, again, with areas where, again, because it's vibrating so much, they don't have the tools to get in there, but your nimbler hand, your steadier hand, and with aid from a celestial body, you are able to begin to quickly and effectively remove parts of the puzzle on this one, for lack of a better term. 22 you said, sorry, yeah?
32.
32, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Okay.
19 on the die.
Brilliant. Not a problem at all. Azraelian? Lavender?
I mean, I don't know. Can I ask me to Silver Song for some directions? Because I am close.
She will turn to you. Are you strong?
No.
Brilliant.
Well, fuck.
How good your arcane knowledge then?
None.
Great. Are you charismatic?
No. I'm very dexterous.
Okay.
We are a very dex heavy party, aren't we?
You are very
Yeah.
dexterous, right? It's great fun.
I think I'm the only strength.
The Falcoris has
Of course.
You use your charisma bonus, it doesn't count.
Oh, I don't. My athletics is +7. My strength is what? What's it again? +4, +3, something like that.
I will say what Azraelian can basically do then is she can point you to one of the guys in the back, one of the other workers here from the Creed. Do whatever he says and help him, please. Go in the back of the cube where you're outside and I can't really direct you. Wherever he says, you do. Got that?
Okay.
Brilliant. Because they're going to make their own rolls as well, and you're going to give him advantage, basically, the Creed member you're going to go against, or go with, sorry. You're just going to give that guy advantage for his Arcana checks, which he is good in, thankfully. So having advantage will be quite helpful. Lavender?
Lavender's gonna take the cloak off because it's very warm.
It is very roasty toasty, yep.
She'll just kind of look at Mary and be like, well, I'm your daughter and I'm your height, so tell me where you want me to go.
Lavender, my dear, I will need you to stand, and she basically points you in a bit, and she's going to ask you to basically do what she was doing, which is use more dexterity and that sort of stuff to try and maneuver things around. So can I get you to make a dexterity check with advantage, as Mary is helping you out with direct guidance on this one? It's a flat dexterity check.
She's flat.
And then Watch will come to you. There's a wee minute as well then.
19.
19, fantastic. I'm gonna go to 19. Perfect. That's basically where she was standing, realizing that you can just take her over. She is yelling at Falcora's instructions, whilst in the middle of him doing something, she will then turn to you, Lavender. And then once she's done with that, she'll turn to you, Elril, and give you another instruction for the next bit you can dismantle. She's going round you like clockwork, funny enough, on this one here as well. Then Wash, you've got something lined up. What are you planning, my man?
So the cube is like ridiculously hot, right?
It is pretty roasting to the touch, yeah. Like,
Okay.
you've been up there for like a minute now, and you just can start to feel your feet are getting a bit hot now. You are sort of like hot-footing it a little bit now you're up there.
I'll turn to Mary and very quickly ask, would cooling it down help?
I'm sure it'll make a massive difference. It's probably overheating quite a fair bit and caught itself in a loop, so if you can cool this thing down, that will be a major help, I'm sure.
Okay. When I picked the items that you gave me, because you gave me 3 little magical items, I picked
Okey-dokey.
the decanter of endless water as one of them.
Yep.
So I would like to use the decanter of endless water to dump, as it says here, 30 gallons of water
Over the cube.
over the cube.
Fantastic. Okay. What role would that even be?
It says that to hold yourself, it would be a strength saving throw.
Let's do. I'm not gonna make you do a saving throw. Let's just do a strength check, unless you want to do a saving throw. If that's gonna be better for
I'm
your
happy to
numbers,
do.
but just a strength check, because you're trying to hold the geyser feature. I'm gonna guess you just erupt water over the cube.
That is 18.
18. You hold firm and hold fast, and basically aim this stream of water towards the cube, and it is steam immediately erupts in this, and this room very quickly becomes a sauna. However, as the cube then does start to cool, and with Lucia doing her stuff, it does start to whir in odd noises that wasn't making a minute ago. And I'm going to get the Creed members to roll. There's 3 in here.
Of course, on top,
That's
like
what's
fucking. And then afterwards,
pancakes right now.
just afterwards, when it
Last guy
stops,
with a
he flicks his hair. Continues on.
Mary gets star eyes. Well, I rolled 4 of them, 2 23s, and with advantage a 22. So,
Damn.
yeah, they were 2 natural 19s back to back. It was quite nice. But with that I'm sure will more than meet the DC. Where's my calculator? I just need to add some things up here.
In between, like, picking little bits of machine out of the cubies, Elrond's like ripping off his cloak, throwing it on the floor.
He's just slowly stripping.
Yeah,
Like-
the veil's like sodden, dripping wet. And he just rips that off. Then the cloak comes off.
My hair just gets whipped back, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Thirst traps all around. Wash, it sucks being in heavy armor right now, buddy.
Does the armor not give you fire resistance?
No, not that. I don't have that
okay.
armor anymore.
Oh, do you not?
Yeah.
I gave it up because it was a little strong, in my opinion.
Okay, I forgot you did that.
But with all these rolls, with Mary's guidance and with your additional help, within a few minutes you can hear the cube start to almost like, and then all of a sudden it just goes completely silent, and then Mary goes, fuck, and then you can feel the vibration in the room as you out now.
Misty Step off my second spell slot. Like, as soon as she says that, like, I'm concentrating on wired, and when it does that, it's like kind of waiting. It's like looking around, and then I'll look up, and when she says out now, I'll be like, oh fuck, drop it and fucking Misty Step, whoosh.
Is that a spell slot you're using? I see.
Oh, is it still up? In fact, my
It's
Misty
still up.
Step wouldn't have worked the first time.
It would have. It would just hurt you.
Ah, okay. Well, how much damage do I take?
What level did you? Was your second level? Was it? Yeah.
No, because Warlock only casts
Oh.
at a certain level. I think it's 4th level right now. 2
What
seconds.
was the highest level?
I think it's 4th level just now. I think at level
Oh.
7 for me. 2 wee seconds.
Take your time.
It is 4th level, yes.
4th level. So you would have taken 24 points of psychic damage
For both?
when you first got for the first one.
For the first one, 24 points of psychic damage. Nice.
Then as you cast again, not as good. 15 on the second, not as good. Of psychic damage. As you just feel, as every time you're trying to cast, it is restricting you, and your willpower alone hurts you to cast these spells. Now you know why last time Emmerich really suffered during the last fight, as you now feel the effects of what the null field can basically do.
Let's see if we can get out. Get out.
You guys make it to the outside of the room, and you sort of see Lucia begin to come from the outside of the machine before everything just goes white. There's no explosion, there's no bang, there's just a flash of white. And everything goes...
How do Marie's legs work under this?
Not the Clockwork Woman.
Like, is she struggling? Does she need a hand?
You will see that she is...
Or a leg.
There is resistance. She can still walk, like when she came into the room to meet you, but you can tell that she's not walking effortlessly.
Huh. Can I try and help her so that she can at least get clear?
You do help her, yep, and everybody else, the other people in the room as well, do come out. And you can see Lucia does come out of the cube as well, makes it to the door before you see this white flash. And again, there's no bang, there's no sound even. There's just this white flash that goes off. And it stays for like a good 5 seconds. This intense, you can't look at directly, white light that just emanates from the cube, casting ever-long shadows behind you, filling the room with nothing but brightness that you can't look past. You have to look away until finally, as if flicking the light switch, it goes off. Wash, you can breathe again properly, you realize. You feel that weight on your soul is lifted. Aurelia, and with your arcane abilities, you feel them come back to you. You feel, Falcoris, the brick wall that separated you and Lucia has just crumbled and fallen away. Teacher stands up a little bit taller. And everyone just sort of looks around, and Mary sort of looks back at the cube and goes, well, that was wasted. Fuck's sake. And she angrily picks up the nearest spanner or wrench and just throws it at the cube. You hear a loud as it just falls to the ground. She turns to look at you all. Welcome to the Padma Sanctorium.
Fancy explaining why the fuck you done that one?
Was my most rational decision. After Borath found me, I decided that I needed for a little bit some arcane protection, and unfortunately I fucked this one up a little bit. It's entirely my fault, and I will be telling the princess that myself. But I just made a mess of things. I got scared. I've been building this as a way to defend Pavmar. And clearly it works if we were to have a purely magical incursion, but a little bit too well, I think. But it doesn't matter anyway, it's all fucked. We still got the smaller one, but it's tiny.
Well,
Could maybe launch it at somebody.
Do you know what, we have actually floated the idea of catapulting it. We have generally considered that idea.
hey, with an armada on the way, ships might work. My fucking head's ringing.
I'm sorry about that.
Mary.
Look, I know that the Creed haven't got a good reputation. I really haven't helped here.
If anything, you guys made it worse by keeping everyone in the dark. If we couldn't have found our way here to help you deal with this.
I'm sure we would have been told where to go to help deal with it quite quickly.
If you guys know, yes, I would have called upon your aid if you were in Pavma. If you guys knew how to get here, and I understand and admit I haven't rightfully given you that.
Do you remember our first meeting?
Are we talking
With me
about first meeting?
specifically?
I do.
Do you remember what I asked you?
You can share with the class, it's okay.
I wanted to know that if we were to be allies, that you had trusted me just as much as I was forced to trust you. I asked for a name. And you would need to trust. And nothing would come of that. And you refused. You keep asking everyone to trust that you're doing the right thing. But you refuse to trust the people around you. You refuse to trust your allies. How are we supposed to support you and collaborate when you do not trust us?
I never said I don't trust any of you.
That
Far
you won't
from
prove it. If anything, you've shown that you do not trust us, and that I've lost all trust in you. I don't think you have good intentions anymore. I really struggle to think that you ever did have good intentions.
I can see why you think that. I'm not going to try and persuade you otherwise. I know that's a battle I will not win. It's about a conversation I don't think you'd like to have, and I'm not going to force you to do that.
I think you just really need to assess who your allies are. And it's better to talk with them and deal with them in the light than it is to keep them in the dark. Otherwise you won't have any allies left.
There are still pieces moving from what was left behind. I have had to first of all fix a very, very broken society and group of people. Very broken. I have had to put fragments back together, and that has taken far too long, and I have done things even in that I wish I didn't have to do. And I don't think you want to know what I've had to do to fix this. The Creed is nowhere near where I want it yet. I'm still upset that we went through what we went through. I'm thankful that you helped out. All of you. Pavmar took us in. We are allied to not just Pavmar, but Lorenthal. Now. I understand that back then we were not. When you think of who Joel used to work for, your friend. The war that we fought. But we have fought alongside you as well. We are your allies. I understand we're probably your shadiest of allies. And we by far means perfect. We're probably the allies you don't want to have. And I get that. I didn't want to fuck Pavma over this evening. I did it though. And I will take the full repercussions of my mistake. My personal mistake. I acted in fear. After you rescued me. Which again goes without saying I am appreciative of still. I know for a fact I would have not made it off that hill if it went for you all. I can say all this, Elril, to you, and I don't think it will ever quite cut deep enough. I don't think an apology will ever quite meet you. So I'm not going to waste your time with that. All I just need you to know is I am fixing things. I will work with you. I also will run this organization the right way.
With all due respect, I can't trust a single word you said. They're words typically, they don't mean anything. And you've proven that time and time again. This is not my call. It's in the interest of the crown. If Alina sees fit to trust you, that is her call. That is fine. But I fundamentally do not anymore. You've given me no reason to.
I understand. I hope one day that we can see eye to eye at least. I don't want us to ever be best buddies. I'm never going to expect that of you. But I do hope in the future, with all due respect, I can prove you wrong.
I hope
And
you
I
do
don't
too.
mean that offensively. I mean that with respect.
I hope you do too. Honestly, I do. Hope that you can prove me wrong here. But I know you won't. You've let me down at every turn.
I've let many people down at every turn. Her eyes flick towards Lavender, then back to you. I've let so many people down. You're not the
Maybe
first, and you probably won't be the last.
And I'm the least important of them all. There's someone there that you need to work on.
Mhm.
More than you need to work on me. Might be it's nothing.
And again, with all due respect, I'm fully aware about that. You are not the person that I need to make recompense with. You're not the one I owe 1,000 apologies to and more. But I'll still give you them.
Alright. Today was a full fucking day. But this was ridiculous. You put us at a very defenseless situation when we know there's an imminent attack. This could have been fucking disastrous. I know you know that, Mary. I think the secrets, the whole we're working on things but we can't tell you thing needs to go out the fucking window. Because it causes mistrust. I'll be honest with you. I'm not exactly happy. It's the reason why I attacked that Malachus. Because I was desperate to make sure to find out where the fuck this was happening and to shut it down as quick as possible before things got escalated beyond our control. When Malachus refused and said he would only answer to you, we can't have that when we're trying to defend a fucking full city, full country. In fact, probably the full world if you want to look at it. There's people here that suffering. Emmerich being one of them, he was out for the count basically. He's one of our heavy hitters if something came along. We need to be more sensible, Mary. We need to start thinking about things in a way of open relationship. If you want to keep yourself away from the public, that's fine. It's completely fine. I understand that. Public doesn't understand other things. But between us, as allies, standing here, defending a city, we need to know what the fuck each other are doing. And you know everything that we've done. So, we'll leave it as that. Elroy's heated. We'll go away, we'll tell the Crown what's happened, we'll calm things down, we'll start seeing situation reports, make sure nothing's happened. But for now, Mary, you've got a lot of work on, and I think you start with your daughter right now. And Falcoris will just turn sweating, sore, and just start heading towards. He'll brush by teacher, and just as he's going by teacher, he'll just be like, "Did you see through the illusion, or did you already guess it? Because you talked to Malachus."
Talk to Malachus.
Fair. and then I'll take that as a note, as a mental note, that he can actually see my illusions, and continue on walking to wherever the fuck the ladder is, and Falcoris will be like, fuck this, and start just climbing up the ladder.
Would you not like to stay for the evening?
No, teacher, I'll catch you another time. Just watch out for the illusions.
Goodbye. As Falcoris leaves, and Elro, since you last spoke with her as well, are you staying or are you leaving as well with Falcoris, or?
As Falcoris walks away, Eller will just give a big, exaggerated bow and then follow suit.
At that one there, once Elro leaves, she will visibly roll her eyes at the gesture of the bow sort of thing, and then shake her head and then sort of look back at the big cube and turn back to the rest of you, Azraelion, Wash, and Lavender. Anybody else got a jibe to throw whilst they're here?
I don't know you, Mary. I am just going to leave, and I'll leave with the rest of them.
Good night,
And
Azraelion.
Didn't realise there was a ladder, so try and figure out a way for my cat to climb up.
You just put stuff in jacket sort of thing.
Yeah.
She looks towards you, Wash.
I don't think I've got as harsh an opinion of what you've done, and in fairness, I trust that your man would actually, he did listen to the benefits of what we were saying. And
I understand
what?
it was a very high-pressure environment that we all faced ourselves with.
Well, it is true that there's a level of unnecessary secrecy, I think, between us. I don't really think I'm one to point that out. But
It's been
for the
pointed out plenty.
future, I think you've seen today there's benefit in including more than just the creed, and I think you will do that. Because I think the creed can do pretty good things, honestly, especially under your leadership. But you're gonna be faced with harsh critics from every angle just because of the old creed, which might not be fair, but it's unfortunately what's going to happen. But yeah, you might want to, help your family situation first.
Thank you, Wash, for again everything you did this evening earlier with Borath, and not totally hating me. Maybe. Either way.
Hate is a strong word for it. Particularly, I would like to root for you, if that makes sense.
Well, as I said to Elril, I hope one day that I can prove you right in that one.
There's a much easier thing that you can do first for me to do that.
Please.
I think just catch up on some time you've missed. It's one thing to be a leader, it's another thing to be a mother, though I suppose really of all the people in the party, I'm probably the least qualified to talk about what a mother should or shouldn't be.
Fair. I would like that. If she would too.
I'll just gesture, like,
She sort of looks towards Lavender.
those who first throw stones. And Wash will leave the room, but he's gonna, like, make it known that he's just sitting outside the doorway. Just giving
Yeah.
privacy, but he's still there in case
He's still there.
shit kicks off.
Can I get you anything, friend?
A towel?
Very hard in there. A towel. Towel and water.
Please.
That will do just nicely.
I've had enough water, I'll be honest. Just a towel, please. A couple, maybe.
Of course. Would you like a hand taken off your armor?
No.
Hey, oh.
Hey.
Didn't know you swung that way, teacher.
I swing when the situation requires me to.
An icon.
Open that a Moscow.
Wash makes himself known that he's not leaving, and Mary goes to speak to Lavender, and then hears that conversation. She sort of just pauses a little bit, putting her finger up just to like smile, hearing Teacher and Wash have this very awkward interaction. Before she looks at you, Lavender, would you like to talk?
About what?
Anything. As Wash said, I've got a lot of catching up to do. I would like to get to know you, and maybe for you to get to know me.
Can I? Is teacher meant to ask those sort of questions? I am so distracted by
Yeah, Teacher, when we found him many years ago, he didn't know of his past, so we brought him into the Creed, and he's been very, very useful. When I'm gone, he sort of fills the void, as he's very, very logical, and emotions aren't his strong suit, being a mechanical being. Which is perfect for making decisions we sometimes find very logical, very thought out. But he also tries to mimic emotions annoyingly. So he thinks what he's doing is what you and I would do. Acts of service and the like. Sometimes he doesn't quite know where the line is.
Fair enough. Pretty sweet, but
I like him.
It's his love
He
language.
He's
just
good for
hands
company.
Wash a pebble with his towels and was like, "This is a nice pebble."
Oh wow! But I would like for you to get to know me, and vice versa. There's a room here if you like to spend the night, if you want time, whatever. We work on your time here for this one, Lavender.
Lavender's just gonna put her hand up. Wait a moment, I'll be back, and she's gonna go out to wash.
Yep.
If you want to go back with the others, you can. I'll be back in the morning.
You muted.
Do you want me to stay nearby?
That is up to you. I'm not gonna make you stay.
We have a room. Several, actually. I'm
So
gonna
it
move
does-
something in a second.
It does remind me a little bit of the Ream. And honestly, I don't mind that. So yeah, if it's not intruding, I obviously don't have to be in the room or anything like that. I'll just get my own room and I'll just be around if that's okay.
Yeah, I just thought she might need help cleaning up whatever that was.
Oh, so I'm more being asked for manual labor than.
No, I'm offering to help. You can go back to the palace with Falcoris and the prince in their bad mood right now, if you wish.
See, but now I look like a dick if I don't say I'll help with manual labor. So, no, I'm kidding. I'm actually happy to sit and help. It would probably be a lot quicker, I'll be honest. You and your mum don't really look like the heavy lifting type, so.
Oh really? Lavender's just gonna get the strength of, when the teacher goes into a class and says we need strong boys to help move shit, and all the girls are jealous.
I'm strong, teacher.
So Lavender just gonna be like, sure, bet.
You and your mum begin to tidy up the room, basically, and the mess that was left behind. And it starts off with basically Mary walking in and picking up the wrench that she angrily threw at the cube when all was said and done. And she pops it aside neatly. And it's silent at first as you guys work, as the two of you work, but bit by bit, she'll just sort of start asking, so before you rescue him, what was your last adventure? And she'll start slowly asking you a couple of questions here and there to get to know you. And if you ask questions in return, she will answer them in kind. And you guys work into the morning, just chatting shit. You find out more about Mary Silversong, which I'll send you a little message in the background. You find out where she's been, what she likes, what she can be like. And at no point during this night does she try to be a mother. She doesn't try to, how do I word this, create that bond. She just wants to know who this person in front of her is for the first time properly. Wash, you are led to a room and given a nice comfortable bed, and you sleep soundly. The rest of you also following suit, making your way back to the palace, where again you can sort of see as you guys through the streets, the arcane lights that powered Pavma are now back on again, and that blanket of light against the dark falls over the city again, tucks it in tight, and like being tucked into bed after a nightmare, the panic is gone. There is comfort. There is that security. And that's all in tonight's episode of Shadows We Fear. Dun, dun, dun.
What a session.
Heated.
Yeah, I'll tell you. That one NPC, thingy. What's his name again?
Malachus.
Malachus.
I'm never going to
She got
forget that
blood.
fucking name.
Boiled my piss, Matt. Boiled my piss.
He's going to die. Of
He is
course he's going to
infuriating.
happen.
Poor man's
Yeah.
just trying to do his job out here.
Also,
Piss?
Mary Silversong First Trap art. I need that, please. But we shall depart into the dear evening again. So before we disappear into the ether once more, do we have any departing announcements, Andy boy?
No, just the usual of hit the link tree, hit the Discord, come join us, come talk to us. I mean, we're in the Discord, so you can come and ask us questions, whatever you want. Come be part of the community. But that's about it. So I'll let you finish up and wrap up.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again to my lovely, lovely players for coming to chat and having this fantastic storytelling experience with me. I really did appreciate it. Thank you to everybody in the chat and Twitch and YouTube. I hope you enjoyed the video as well. As per usual, we will see you, I think, next week. Things all good as far as concerned. We'll see you at some point, hopefully next week, same time, same place. So between now and our next meeting again, Traveller, I hope you have a fantastic evening.